What up, everybody? Welcome to episode 29 of White Heat, right here, presented by Godzilla Media. Sponsored, as always, by our friends at Mohawk Honda in Scotia Glenville and Johnstone Supply in Troy. I'm Brian Cady. That's JJ Alexander. Interesting week of headlines we have to recap, including something on the indies that I can't even really find words right now. Just we'll get into it. Anyways, JJ, we're getting closer and closer to Christmas. We're getting close to the end of the year. Getting a little colder. How you doing?
I'm hanging in there. Furnace seems to be holding up. I don't think we need an oil delivery yet. Hanging. It's actually 53 degrees out today over here, so it's not that bad.
Yeah, it's a weird because like I don't know if you got the same stuff as we had here in New York yesterday. Like yesterday and mostly Saturday night really was like the blow off from the tornado chain that went through like Arkansas and Kentucky. So we had a bunch of like high wind gusts and shit go through here.
We had some high wind on Friday and then some rain on Saturday, and then yesterday it was just what it was.
Yeah. So like today we're close to you. Today we're around 50 degrees. So yeah, that's same old. By the way, since I just mentioned it, our prayers obviously go out to everyone who's dealing with the backlash of the tornadoes that went through Arkansas and Kentucky and that whole Appalachian Trail area. So our thoughts and prayers out to you. But in the meantime, we have a week's worth of wrestling to get into. And boy, oh boy, let's just get this out of the way real quick. New Japan, they have their Super Juniors tournament final set up, the World Tag League final set up, and it's not exactly the way we thought it would play out. I mean, Super Juniors, yes. The Tag League, fucking no. But any hooser, so they do both finals in the same night, and they are set up right now to happen on Wednesday. So we're recording right now, Monday the 13th of December. Their finals are going to be on the 15th, which is Wednesday night. So they have a whole card set up for that event. But the two main events, first off, the World Tag League final is going to be the tag team of House of Torture, which is Evil and Yujiro Takahashi. They are going to be taking on, representing Chaos, Hiroki Goto and Yoshihashi. Now, considering the current tag champs are, I believe I remember correctly, Tai Chi and Zack Sabre Jr., it's really going to depend, I think, on do they want to continue the internal war? Do they want to just go with the obvious answer and have Goto and Yoshihashi with the tag team title shot that you get out of World Tag League? One would assume they'll probably go with the latter, because the whole Bull Club versus Bull Club thing is pretty much blown over at this point. Yeah, like it's pretty much non-existent now. At least they haven't been pushing it like they had before. So that kind of writes itself right now.
This is weird. This is the first year in a while GOD ain't been in the finals of the World Tag League.
Yeah. Or there was also a little while there where, I mean, Evil was there, but it was usually Evil and Sonata. But obviously they've gone their separate ways from the looks of it. Right. Then on the other side of it, the Super Juniors, we were both pretty much in unison in the fact we thought that Hiromu Takahashi was going to get to the finals, which he has. Yeah. He's going to take on who finished with 14 points. Takahashi finished with 15 points because he had a draw in there. But I think we're both in. Like we kind of thought this was like the main option going into Super Juniors. We both thought Takahashi going in, coming off the big injury, getting the feel good run, and then going after the junior heavyweight title eventually, and probably getting it back more than likely. So that would be against El Desperado, by the way. He's the current champion. So one would assume basically that now we're at a point where the Wrestle Kingdom card for both nights is kind of starting to come together. The Stardom tag team match that's going to be featured on night 2 of Wrestle Kingdom has been formulated, which was done really, really weird. I don't know if this is an annual thing the way they did it this year, but did you see how they did it?
No.
They basically, because I guess there's like 5 different. See, I don't really follow Stardom all that much, but basically, Stardom is basically an all-female wrestling company in Japan, and I guess there's 5 different factions within the company. So what they did was they had a member of each faction picked, and they did a drawing of straws to see who'd be in the match. They had 2 colored blue, 2 colored red, and then a shorter straw than the rest. Whoever drew the shortest straw was not in the match, and obviously the 2 blues and the 2 reds. So, yeah.
It's fuck, bro.
I have nothing. I have nothing. That's just what I read up today.
To quote one of my old trainers, I don't fucking know. It's all Pikachu to me.
Pikachu, oh god. So yeah, that's that. So basically, we have that coming together. Obviously, one would assume that the World Tag League and Super Junior winners are both going to have their opportunities. Excuse me. They're both going to catch their opportunities at Wrestle Kingdom. So that's coming together. So really, at this point, the only thing to figure out, and we obviously know the heavyweight title picture where night 1 is going to be Okada and Takagi, and then the winner's going to fight Ospreay night 2 to figure out the true champion, quote unquote. So at this point, the only thing really to figure out at this point would be junior tag champions, what they're going to do. Mm-hmm. Never openweight title. Are they going to fly Ishii back into Japan for that? Which I would assume they would.
Yeah.
And then if they're going to do anything with the never openweight 6-man titles, those would be the main 3 things we look to.
Yeah.
Also, if they book any rivalry matches, which I haven't felt like there's a whole lot there really. Yeah. Although we have to wait and see because Shibata supposedly has an announcement that he's going to make this Wednesday night at that World Tag League Super Junior final night. So maybe that has something to do with Wrestle Kingdom, maybe not. So just one of those things where we just got to kind of wait and see. But other than that, the Wrestle Kingdom picture coming together finally. And hopefully either this time next week or the week after, we'll be able to kind of put together our thoughts about Wrestle Kingdom officially and go from there. But all in all, things pretty much playing out the way we predicted, honestly.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to order Wrestle Kingdom this year.
It's kind of lackluster in a way, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then a real quick, for New Japan Strong, they had an event over the weekend. Jonathan Gresham beat Gabriel Kidd. United Empire with Cobb, TJP, and Will Ospreay. They won a 6-man tag. And then Ishii successfully defended the never openweight title against Brody King. So that was that. Not much, again, to really comment on, really, but it did happen. So that's that. Now, let's move on to Impact Wrestling.
I DVR'd that. I didn't watch it. I knew I was forgetting something.
Can't say I blame you, but so I guess because I don't know if you have a real answer to this or not. But in the pre-show, but first of all, before the Impact, I'm assuming that's their online. They do like an online stream before their show goes on the air. I'm assuming. No, right?
Before the Impact is what comes on at 7:00 on Access.
So they have a 3-hour block.
They basically do have a 3-hour block. Honestly, Thursdays on Access is Impact from like noon until midnight. They just show classic Impact and fucking all that shit and yada yada. before and after. So at 7 o'clock it's BTI, and then 8 to 10 is regular Impact, and then 10 to midnight is a whole bunch of like Impact and 60 shit.
Whatever works for them. So in BTI, Lady Frost beat Kimberly. And
okay.
It's normally isn't a match I would bring up, but I feel like I'm not sure what to make of. Like, I think Lady Frost is a good talent. That's not the question here. The question becomes, is this a talent that you could put the Knockouts division on if you chose to go that direction? Because right now you have Mickie James and Deonna. They're like the main thing. Mm-hmm. And one would assume that this match they're having at Hard to Kill next month is going to be the blow-off.
One would assume.
Again, but we all know what assuming does. It makes ass out of you and me. But anyways. And then you have Jordynne Grace, who's devoted to this
digital media championship.
Right. So that kind of leaves the door open. Now, obviously, the rumor is going to be going around about anybody that's been released from WWE recently, notably Taya Valkyrie potentially coming back. But in the immediate future, for the next 60 days, there seems to be a little void. Now, I know they have this Knockouts Ultimate X match coming up at Hard to Kill.
Mm-hmm.
So one would assume that's a natural slide in. And Lady Frost has been booked in that match.
Okay.
But just like, there's nobody that really is pulling me in to say that there's any depth there. And I just bring up Lady Frost because she seems like to be the only one that there's any legitimate push being given to.
Except for Mercedes, but yeah.
Yeah, but is Mercedes booked in that match, though? I don't know if she is.
I thought she was in the Ultimate X match.
She is in it? I gotta double check. Because I could be wrong. Okay. But anyways, do you think Lady Frost is somebody that has a long-term solution for that division down the road?
With Impact, I've learned there are no long-term solutions.
Oh, fair.
The last long-term solution they had in the Knockouts division was Deonna Purrazzo, and Jesus fuck.
Yeah, Mercedes Martinez is not in this Ultimate X match, by the way.
She's not? What the fuck?
The 6 participants are going to be Tasha Steelz, Lady Frost, Rachel Ellering, Jordynne Grace, Rosemary, and Chelsea Green.
They got giant forehead bitch in that match, but they don't have Mercedes. They've got I love Jordan, but Jordan already has a title. Why is she in that match?
Understood. I don't know what to tell you.
What, are we just going to unify the belts already? Because they're like, fuck.
And then obviously you have the triple threat for the Impact World title booked with Moose, Cardona, and Morrissey.
Yeah.
The Mickie James Deonna Purrazzo match. And then they've booked Jonah versus Josh Alexander in a one-on-one match for Hard to Kill.
They should rename this fucking pay-per-view Hard to Watch.
Oh, yeah. Then obviously you would assume there's going to be X Division title match somewhere in that card. Yeah. By the way, this is January 8th, so it's a Saturday, the Saturday pay-per-view.
Wait, January 8th? Isn't that the same day that fucking Impact, not Impact, fucking AEW is doing their fucking free bogus Clash of the Champions shit?
Yes.
So much for that Impact AEW partnership.
I don't know why I just typed Impact Wrestling in my URL, but yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm 99% sure that's correct.
Jesus fuck.
Let me go into here. I'm going to try to scroll through quick. I'm going to try to scroll through AEW's Twitter and make sure I'm correct. So obviously they have that Winter is Coming bullshit this Wednesday on as their Dynamite. Well, let me try to find, because I saw it recently. I know I saw the... where is it? Well, anyways, so while I'm looking that up, let me just kind of tee up the next thing involving Impact.
Mm-hmm.
Do we... Again, I'm not sure this is... I'm not sure we're ever going to have correct answers here, because it's Impact and they go left when they should go right. If you're the booker, and this is a very loaded question because I'm making you the booker, are you putting the belt back on Deonna this quick, or are you just going to let it ride with Mickey through the pay-per-view?
Let it ride with Mickey, because Deonna wasn't a fucking draw.
I could roll with that. Yeah, I could roll with that. Where is... I can't find it. Let me go to Google. I'll probably have better. AEW. It was Battle of the Belts, right?
I don't know if that one is Battle of the Belts or what. I just know that...
Yeah, Battle of the Belts is the same night.
Jesus.
And it's on free TV. It's on TNT.
Yeah.
Which... I have nothing right now, man. I have nothing. Yeah. But basically, they're gonna give away a half-ass kind of not really pay-per-view stat card on free TV this week, and then they're gonna do something similar to that again. What, 1, 2, 3.5 weeks later on a Saturday?
Yeah. But they, you know, they only do quarterly pay-per-views, so they're special. You got to remember that. They don't do monthly pay-per-views.
I don't get the... Wait, we're not even on AEW yet.
I'm oozing the sarcasm here.
Yeah, I know. I get where you're coming from. We'll come back to that in a second. Anything else really relevant, honestly, from anything?
Impact? No.
They had a throwaway tag match that had Zicky Dice, because I know you love Zicky Dice. Don't worry, he lost. Eric Young beat Rhino in a street fight. Okay, sure. Then they're trying to create this kind of fake, weird... Because they had a triple... It looks like a triple threat. Oh, they had the 8-person tag. They had the Inspiration, formerly known as
the Iconics,
and the Influence, because that's not confusing. Inspiration and Influence. The Influence is Tennille Dashwood and Madison Rayne.
Mm-hmm.
They had them in an 8-person tag against Decay, which is Rosemary, Havoc, Black Taurus, and Crazy Steve. Decay won, and then I don't know if there was some... I don't know. There was some confusion. I don't fucking know. Basically, they tried to use that match to build some kind of controversy between Cassie and Jessica as with Tennille and Madison. I don't fucking know. It was fucking weird. I don't know. Cardona
the battle
beats,
of the eyes.
Yeah. Cardona... Battle of the Inns. Which in is out. Which innie is an outie.
And then in the end, they're all just going to form together and be the in crowd.
Your sarcasm just reads right
Scott D'Amore, fuck you.
All right, so I know your answer would be none of the above, but let me just ride with me on this for a second. Mm-hmm. Moose, Morrissey, and Cardona. Which is your lesser of the three evils?
Cardona.
Just cause. I mean, I know Moose is your automatic throwout. So you're saying it's between Morrissey and Cardona for you.
Yeah, and Cardona catches less heat in the locker room.
Does he?
Yes.
Even with all his stupid bullshit?
His stupid bullshit is he likes trolling the internet. But he's not nearly as much of an asshole as Cass is. Because Cass is all Orange Goblin is God, flat earth, fuck vaccinations, all that shit too. Hey. Cardona is, at least he stays quiet about it.
Fair. Very, very fair. All right. So, we obviously have WWE stuff to get into, and we also have a special segment coming back later in the show. And we have a pay-per-view to recap from Ring of Honor. But let's just get this out of the way because I'm sure you have some stuff to discuss.
I pulled out my notes.
So before we get to the notes, let's just kind of circle back around to what we were starting to discuss a second ago. Mm-hmm. And I'll phrase it into a question. Mm-hmm. What has to be done? Or actually, I'll phrase it a different way. What kind of person, and you can do this by naming off characteristics of the person, or if there's a certain person that comes to mind that has the characteristics you're looking for, then by all means, throw out a name. What kind of person is it going to take to be hired by AEW to make the booking intelligent? Not necessarily the creative. Creative's a whole different animal. I'm talking strictly the structure of booking.
The structure of booking? Who would it take?
Like, who would it take, or what kind of characteristics in somebody that gets hired would it take to prevent the hot-shotting of angles, the hot-shotting of championship matches, giving away shit on free TV as much as they are right now?
Bill Watts still alive? Is he? I forgot if he died or not.
I believe he is, but I don't think he's with it enough to bring.
Okay, so as far as people who would book shit to make sense,
and don't say yourself.
No.
You don't want that job anyways.
I would say Steve Kern. I would say Les Thatcher. I would say, since he just quit NXT, Scotty Zuhati.
You think Scotty? You think he has enough experience behind the scenes to pull off something like that?
Absolutely. I would also, in all honesty, give Danny Davis a call. He's been running OVW for 25 years because it was around before Vince came down there. It was around after Vince left.
And it's funny you mentioned OVW because that was actually, that legitimately popped in my head seconds before you said Danny Davis, because isn't Al Snow involved with them as well?
Yeah. Al was never a good booker, though, because they tried to have an Al as a booker in TNA, and it didn't work that well.
What about... This is a very, very odd hypothetical, but I'm going to put it out there.
Okay.
So, You know that radio show that's on Sirius XM that I'm not going to give the publicity for by naming the actual name of the show, but it has
the cut open forehead.
Yeah, that's a good way to rename the show. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And the certain co-hosts that tend to be on there from time to time.
Yeah.
Well, one is on there pretty much all the time. Like Mark Henry is. I'm not saying Mark Henry would be the booker, but
no, I know who you're talking about. No,
who am I talking about?
Bubba.
No, I wasn't even thinking
no?
him.
Oh, okay.
No, I was thinking a different occasional co-host of that show. HOH.
Oh, Tommy?
Yeah.
Tommy. I love Tommy, but like Tommy's House of Hardcore shows do well because they're nostalgia super shows. They don't have storylines. And Tommy was a booker for Impact for the past couple of years, and not that great. Tommy's a hell of an agent, hell of a producer. As far as actually figuring out the booking, yeah.
Do we ever know? Did Billy Gunn do anything backstage, or was he strictly just a trainer when he was still in the PC?
I'm pretty sure he was just a trainer.
Okay. So that's a no. Maybe Dustin? He's already there.
He's already there. He's a trainer. I mean, he could. But then you've got the whole dynamic between the two brothers fighting backstage.
I don't know. You really think that there would be heat between them at some point?
I think if it came to it where Dustin would say, this is what you need to do, A, B, and C, and blah, 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 and then Cody would pull rank and be like, I don't care if you're my big brother and you're the booker, and EVP, I outrank you. I could see that happening every time Dustin tries to book something that Cody doesn't like. Because Cody has a fucking ego problem.
It could work. It could work. Here's what we're gonna do. Let me pull up. I'm sure. Oh, Wikipedia, I love you sometimes. All right. I'm gonna name off potential names.
Okay.
You just simply say yes or no.
Okay.
We already talked about Billy Gunn. All right, I'll give you a couple of names that I'm going to touch on guys that are on the roster that are on the back ends of their career, and I'm also going to mention backstage people. Okay. Let's start with these two from the roster: Jericho and Christian.
Nope.
Neither one.
Nope.
Christopher Daniels.
Okay. It's a possibility.
Okay. I'm not going to bother mentioning Colt Cabana. I don't even want to know what your answer is.
Colt would be good at fucking having people handle their promos. Like
I'm on the
Colt be a great producer.
Go ahead.
No, Colt be a good.
I'll give you producer, but I wouldn't give you Booker.
Yeah, no.
I'm on the fence on this one. I think you're going to say no, but I'll put the name out there anyways. Eddie Kingston.
Eddie's got a mind for it. I
could
see it.
His attitude sometimes.
Yeah, I could see Eddie in a booking role. As far as like a head booker, I don't know if I'd push him into that so fast, but I mean, he's got a good mind for the business. So he's a possibility.
Okay. Matt Hardy.
Fuck no.
I had a feeling that'd be your answer. I just thought I'd throw it out there, though. Paul White.
Nah. You'd have people flipping face and heel every 3 weeks.
Oh, come on. That's just rude. That's just rude.
There's work for me. I don't see why I can't work for other people. I'm a commentator.
On the woman's side, I'll give you a name.
Okay.
That's the only one I'm gonna put out there for the woman's side. Serena Deeb.
Yeah.
That's the only one that makes any sense at all on that side. Arn has no business booking, so no. Don Callis, we've seen what he does, no. Taz, I wouldn't trust, no. Tully, no.
I mean, I wouldn't completely discount Arn.
You think so?
Yeah.
I would need some convincing.
Mark He's Henry, not nearly as bad as Ole.
Fair. EJ Whitmer is one of their coaches and producers? Yeah. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Jerry Lynn.
See, Jerry's a great coach. Gary's a great trainer, but Jerry will even tell you. He's like, don't make me a booker.
Yeah. I mean, there's not a whole lot of... I mean, there's a few, but again, like, I mean, we're talking about... The problem being with a lot of names I just gave is... There are people not necessarily done in ring. Maybe a few of them should be done in ring. A few.
That's where you have the problem of them booking themselves in high-profile shit.
Correct. Why don't you go ahead and go into your notes they have for AEW, and I'll react as you go.
So let's see. Well, we opened up the whole thing with Bizarro Land with fucking Punk and MJF, where they're trying to do Sean and Brett with It's Long Island. So MJF gets cheered and Punk gets booed, and it just fell flat.
Right.
Especially when here's where I'm going to fast forward to after shit was finished or whatever. And I love MJF, and he made a fucking cardinal sin. Because remember the video I sent you? He went out after the fucking after when they were off the air during dark match time, and came out to pop the crowd, and was like, "Oh yeah," and I'm like Billy Joel and blah 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 and all this shit, and got the crowd cheering for him. I'm like, dude, you had me until that. You were committed to being the heel. This was your chance to, number one, heal your hometown crowd. But not only that, but just because the cameras weren't rolling doesn't mean that everyone doesn't have a fucking cell phone. And here you are playing a babyface when you are supposed to be the biggest shit heel on the fucking planet. Cardinal sin. You never, when Flair was the fucking on top with the Horsemen with being hated, you didn't see him come out in Charlotte after the fucking camera went off going, I love everybody here. You never saw Cornette in fucking Kentucky be like, I love every person in this building. No. Cardinal sin. Dude, the fuck. And that ruins that. They say kayfabe is dead, yada yada, and all this shit, but like, you shouldn't be actively trying to kill any semblance that is left of it. Seriously. I was disappointed. I felt like the father of the teenager that got caught with beer in the park. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. Like, you knew better. What the fuck? Like, that's the kid's never going to be anything in that company now.
Not his fault.
That's just the way it is. It's not his fault, but it is his fault. Because I mean, it's fucking. I don't know if it was Tony Khan telling him go out there and do it, or him going, I want to do it. And Tony Khan, it's in some case, someone didn't have the balls to use the brains. It was either him not using his brains and Tony Khan not having the balls to tell him don't do that, or Tony Khan telling him to do that and him not having the balls to say, Tony, no, I'm a heel. Either way, it's one of those scenarios. And that's why it didn't work. So then we get past that, and then, oh, look, we get back to your standard AEW bullshit of here's the Bucks in a fucking tag match doing Young Bucks bullshit with fucking how many false fucking finishes do you need? And I'm not talking like false finishes like 1-2 kick out, 1-2 kick out. I'm talking ref bump. I'm talking fucking everything. Okay. Number one, like, because I know like they don't like using DQs in AEW. Like they don't say that it's no disqualification, but they don't like calling matches on a DQ like as one of their rules or some bullshit like that. That doesn't mean that during a tag match, when you have a manager, representative, whatever outside, they can hop up on the apron. They can't get in the fucking ring. Fucking Cutler gets in the fucking ring to distract the referee, and the referee's talking to him with his back to the shit with the dude in the ring. No, that's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you're out, disqualified, match is done. No, this motherfucker was in there for like a minute and then gets on the apron and continues to distract him while all the stupid fuckery is going on the outside. And then with the false finish with the fucking Meltzer driver getting missed, and then the babyface goes for the pin and kick out. No, we just do the Meltzer driver for the win anyways. Like, it made no fucking sense. It was Young Bucks bullshit. You know, I was so much happier during those 2 weeks where they were injured and were going to be out for months. Not to mention the fact that the baby faces lost because it was the best friends.
Mm-hmm.
And then this motherfucker, like, number one, the best friends were already outnumbering the Bucks, and they were getting their asses. Like, they were already outnumbered. They were either evenly matched or outnumbered. No, I think they were evenly matched with 4 of them, and it was the Bucks, Cole, and Cutler. And then they're getting beat down. And then here comes, it's the return of Trent Beretta, who had his mom pull into the arena in a minivan and drop him off. It was the dumbest shit. That was Judy Bagwell levels of stupid. And they're literally like, Suze came and she brought, like, what the fuck is this bullshit? This motherfucker, like, 35 years old, and mom dropped him off in the minivan. And then he comes to the ring, and then it's Davis like, the best friends are all back together. And they do the big hug and the zoom in with the camera and shit that AEW is so fucking famous for that it's pathetic. We do the zoom in, and they did it twice in a matter of 2 minutes. And then they bring Trent Beretta's mom into the fucking ring. Why? And then, as you saw, apparently, Trent Beretta's mom is a member of Chaos now. Trent Beretta's mom going to show up at Kingdom Come? Trent Beretta's mom going to show up at Wrestle Kingdom and fucking cost fucking Shingo Takagi the fucking title? She gonna run over Takagi with her minivan? She gonna drive it over the Pacific Ocean?
Oh God! I love seeing you get your panties in a twist.
She's gonna bring Okada a protein shake halfway through the match, and some cookies. Oh, here, this will make you feel better, honey. I brought some matzo ball soup from Long Island. It'll make you feel better. It's Jewish penicillin.
Oh, now all of a sudden,
they're from Long Island. She was a Yenta. You can tell she was a Yenta. But still, give me a fucking break.
Keep going.
Give me a fucking break. I swear, if this doesn't lead to a Trent Beretta's mom on a forklift match somewhere down the line, because that's all they're missing in this equation. That's all they're missing. She looks like a midget Judy Bagwell, for Christ's sakes. And then, so then they have Sammy Guevara come out to cut a promo, and he doesn't say a word because he doesn't. So he mentions, because open challenge for the TNT title. And Cody walks out, and Cody says, good guy to good guy, I'm going to challenge you on fucking whatever it is, the last Wednesday of the year. Says he's going to challenge him, and he shakes hands with him. And then Cody, acting subtle, goes to leave and starts walking towards the heel tunnel, and then goes, oh, and turns around and goes back to like, you're not fucking subtle. You're not funny. Go away. Like, there was nothing subtle about it. Everyone gets it. You think you're so fucking great. No one cares. Nobody fucking cares. People just want you to turn heel so you'll stop doing this stupid shit where you're like, I'm going to tease turning heel. Just fucking do it already. They're already booing you, and no one's going to care. And the second you have go away heat. You do not have heel heat. You have go away heat. Because you know why? You went away too often, and then you come back and expect to be put on a fucking pedestal. No, you went away. You stay away. Cody does not have go away heat. Cody has stay away heat. New term. Because everyone used to call it X-Pac heat or Jarrett heat. No, that's different. That's go away heat. Cody has stay away heat. I have coined that term. Trademark JJ Alexander 2021. Stay away heat. Hashtag stay away heat.
You know your house is bugged, right?
Yes, I know. Hashtag stay away heat.
I give it 30 days before somebody in WWE or on Cornette's podcast uses that phrase.
Whatever. We got it recorded now. And what? Fucking Jamie Hayter. And then, oh yeah. And so then, yeah, we got, I don't want to know how bad Jamie Hayter's gear smells. I really don't.
Dude, come on.
What?
Never mind. Just go. Just go.
I just thought it was funny in a group chat with people, and one guy was like, what the fuck is a Riho? Because that was funny. But, fuck it. So then they do an interview with the Varsity Blondes, who haven't been on TV since the Queen's show.
It's been a while.
It was Queens. It was Arthur Ashe. It was the last time they were on TV. Not counting YouTube.
That was 3 months ago.
I don't even know if they've been on YouTube. Yeah, it was 3 months ago.
That was 3 months ago.
That was the last time they were on TV. Yeah, so here's the Varsity Blondes. And before they even get a word out, the lights go out. Lights come back on. And here's Malachi Black. And he sprays black mist in the chick's face. And then walks away. There's two guys there. They're both like, oh my God, we have to help her. No one goes after Malachi Black. Because why? Because that would make sense. Have one guy tend to the chick and the other guy go after. No. But so here's Malachi Black. Here's the guy that came in. And what did I say? I said he was going to get the program with Cody, and when that was done, he was going to slowly fall down the card. He went from facing Cody to having to tag with Andrade to face Cody and Pac, to working Pac, to now working rookies who haven't been on TV in 3 months. Fuck, called it.
BPJ isn't that bad, though.
Right, but he's a good kid, but he hasn't been on TV.
Pillman Jr. isn't that bad.
He's a good, but he
I get your logic. Like, I get your logic. I understand that that's a step down, but I mean,
yeah,
Pillman's not that bad of a talent.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot that after Cody pulled his bullshit, then we got promos from Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky where Ethan Page says he wants a TNT title shot too. So God knows that's probably going to be a 3-way or who fucking knows what. And then we get the main event, and it's Bryan Danielson against John Silver. Now, I will say one thing. I like John Silver. I liked him back when I worked with him back in the day. Back when he was working as Johnny Silver and he was working as the Shard in Chikara. I always thought he had a nice intensity to him. Always had a great attitude to him. I actually remember having an argument with fucking Bike Manx about trying to find a replacement in the main event for a show. And I was just like, just use John Silver. He's over the motherfucker right now. Because at that point, John Silver was indie main event status. You could put him in your main event and he would put on a hell of a show. And he would work great with whoever you put him in there with. But there's a big difference between indie main event and TV main event. And that's nothing to knock John, as I said. However, you take John Silver, who has not had... One second. All right. So you take John Silver, who has not had a singles win in this company, either on TV or on YouTube. Like, because he's been primarily tag with Alex Reynolds, but he hasn't had a singles victory at all. You can't take a guy and put him in the main event with a main event guy, and that makes him a main event player. That's not how that works. Because no one, and especially during this run of Danielson wrecking all the people in the Dark Order, nobody thinks John has a shot in hell at him. And the problem is, I fucking Cornette brought this shit up with Punk and Danielson's matches, is they'll be working these guys, but then they will give them, and then they'll go for their fucking hope spot, and they will give them way too much of a hope spot. And they'll try to make it look like an evenly contested match. You can't do that when you're trying to build Danielson as the monster heel who's going to crush everything in his path. And so then they do the shit with John, and he gets fucking, what do you call it? They didn't even do a submission. They literally like had Brian roundhouse kick him twice, and then Brian just picks his head up, and the ref looks and he's like, "Oh, he dead," and rings the bell. They don't say it was by knockout, but there was no pin, there was no submission. It was, he dead. And then Danielson's just like, "Oh wait, I forgot to kick his head in," and comes over, and you can tell that fucking Hangman Page was late on his cue, because Danielson repeated the same line twice, yelling it into the mic and pointing towards the entrance as he was looking at the camera, because Page should have been at the monitor in the back going, "Shit, this is my cue, so I should start running right now. So when Danielson goes and grabs him, he doesn't even get one kick in, and I go in and get him to powder." What happens? Hangman Page is late on his cue. Danielson's already over there going to kick, and he's looking around for Page because Page is fucking late. Whole thing just poorly fucking executed, poorly produced. And that is basic indie 101 shit. That is like any indie that fucking like if you're running a show and you have a fucking, what do you call it? And you have it being taped, you run a cable to the back and have a monitor by the entrance or in the locker room. So whoever knows, they have fucking something to watch for their fucking cue. If not, at the very least, if you're not recording, you have the guys over by the fucking curtain in the entranceway, kind of peeking through, knowing when their cue is. They couldn't even do that. And so the whole thing came off looking like ass. And that was your go home towards winter is coming. Like it made everything look like shit. Everything. And then on top of it, we get all the hype about Hook having his debut match on Rampage.
I take it you're not buying the hype.
Kid's ugly. Kid's skinny. Just because Taz is his dad don't mean shit. He was average at best. Match was over choreographed. You can tell the kid and Fuego del Sol went over that match 85 times in the back. So they get the base. And then there's all these motherfuckers. Literally, this is the dumbest shit I've seen in my life. Because they're all talking, like, they have to try to find a way to win on everything. Literally, I have seen this by more than one source about how Hook's debut match had more viewers than Braun Breaker's debut match. Parentheses on YouTube.
Oh, right. I remember seeing that, yeah. I did see that.
And how Hook is a future world champion in the making. No, he ain't. No, he ain't. Sorry. Nope. And if his daddy puts his fake belt on him, that doesn't count. Which, by the way, when's the last time the FTW title was defended on TV? Or at all?
I don't even remember.
I can tell you
whenever Ricky won it.
Beat Brian Cage from it. Exactly. Remember when it was supposed to be the big thing? The FTW title was there. And then literally Brian Cage defended it once, if that. Because fucking AEW.
Is it fucking AEW or fucking Taz?
Everything. Fucking Taz and fucking AEW. Like, this kid, I'm sorry. Just because the kid's better than Dominic Mysterio don't mean shit. We've trained kids that were better than Dominic Mysterio.
So, oh, Jesus.
No, but I'm saying having more skill. It's not what do you call? I'm just saying.
So after one match, we're calling Hook better than Dom Mysterio already.
Well, dude, there's people who have trained 2 days that are better than Dom Mysterio. Sorry to fucking break it to you.
Wow.
There's a reason that kid only worked with the same 2 people for months on end.
Okay.
They were the only ones willing to rehearse matches with. And I'm sorry, but going to show that. How long has Hook been on the active AEW roster, and this was his first match?
Although technically, apparently, he wasn't on the active roster until his first match.
But he was there.
Oh, I agree.
Part of Team Tag.
I agree. I agree. But apparently, he wasn't official until his debut match the other night.
Yay. Fuck that kid.
You didn't see that, did you?
What?
You didn't see that AEW tweeted out a Hook is now All Elite image after the match?
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, I want to see if I can find it quick. Hold on, because
it was the picture of him in like the prize
maybe
boxer shorts.
I might have been seeing shit, but I'm 95% sure they tweeted out a thing Friday night after his match that it was like they do with all their new signings. It was one of those now All Elite. By the way, AEW is making its Connecticut debut on February 23rd.
Yeah, I know.
I know you want to rush to get coming to Bridgeport. I know you're going to rush to get tickets.
I'm going to fucking guarantee you this. I guarantee you that night, Adam Cole takes a dig at NXT in a fucking promo because that's the building he won the title off of Johnny Gargano in. Because I was there.
Oh, the Webster Bank Arena?
Yep. I guarantee.
Whatever it's called now.
I guarantee that night. Yeah, it's still the Webster Bank Arena. I guarantee that fucking night he fucking cuts a promo about fucking TakeOver or NXT or something. I mean, that's not really much of a stretch saying that an ex-WWE guy is going to take a shot at WWE on an episode of Dynamite. I know that's kind of, par for the course. But right. I'm saying that specific night is going to be Adam Cole talking some shit.
Oh boy!
And one last thing, because I referenced MJF coming out in the video that went around. Yeah, that sold out UBS Arena where that entire side that wasn't on hard cam was fucking empty, except for the first 3 rows at ringside. Empty, but it was sold out. Suck my dick.
You ready for this?
Yes.
Told you I wasn't lying.
What? Where am I?
This was sent out Friday night after his match.
I don't know if I'm CM Punk or Peter Parker.
For those of you without the benefit of flash photography, or you're not watching on YouTube, I was showing the image of, like I said, it was Hook is All Elite. It was like they did with all their new signings. They put up the image, they put him in there, and yeah. I knew I was right. I knew I saw it. I just had to find it. Which, since we're speaking AEW, I know you're not a huge fan of this company, but did you see what Northeast Wrestling is doing, by the way? And the talents on this poster? Mm-hmm. This WrestleFest 26 they're doing in Poughkeepsie next month.
Yep.
It's like all AEW talent on there except Bandito.
Yep.
Well, all right, it's half AEW talent, a quarter ROH, and a quarter Indies.
Uh-huh.
So on this poster, for those who...
too.
Oh, yeah, the Waterbury show's, I want to say the day after. I want to say it's the 23rd. Yeah. I could be wrong. But for those who are not watching on YouTube, so the poster has Malachi Black front and center, and then around him are Lucha Bros, Eddie Kingston, Thunder Rosa, Matt Hardy, Bandito, Eric Redbeard. Bandito, if he doesn't have COVID, we'll get to that in a second. Yeah. Eric Redbeard, formerly known as Eric Rowan, Wrecking Ball Legursky, and Matt Taven. The reason Legursky's on there, I think Legursky's their champion right now. I could be wrong on that.
No, he's not. Mouth is their champion.
Oh, he's not?
Dan Mouth is their champion. Right. Legursky's there because Legursky sucks O'Brien's dick. That's why.
Okay, good for you.
Legursky's a piece of shit.
Okay, we'll go down that road sometime eventually.
Gladly.
The 2 matches NEW has announced for that show so far, by the way. A first time ever Malachi Black versus Matt Taven.
Oh, gee, that'll put asses in seats.
Then the other one is something you'll probably expect to see in AEW. Lucha Brothers versus Flip Gordon and Bandito. So, just thought I'd get that out of the way because,
what about Flip Gordon advertises that he's from Montana when he trained in fucking Massachusetts?
Yeah, was he Kalispell? Is it from? He keeps saying
something like that.
Kalispell, Montana.
Yeah. Kalispell or Missoula or some shit. He's from fucking Massachusetts.
Yeah, Kalispell. I want to say is. I want to say like an hour outside of the capital of Montana. Which don't ask me what it is. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Helena.
Thank you. Yeah, I think Kalispell is where. I think Kalispell is also like the city for one of their major colleges out there, but I could be wrong. Anyways, this is what you get when you do random searches at 3:00 in the morning. Anyways, speaking of random, let's just go right in and just tell you that hey, Mohawk Honda, their 12 days of giving, it's happening right now. Hey, I had to work it in somehow. So over the course of the last week, we had you go into their Mohawk Honda Facebook page, nominate charities to potentially receive $5,000 by commenting and tagging the charity in the comments of the 12 Days of Giving post that was on the Mohawk Honda Facebook page. Well, it just started. They just started announcing the charities back on Saturday the 11th. So now you can go to Mohawk Honda's Facebook page and check out the charities being announced once a day up through Christmas Eve that receive $5,000 a piece. You can check and see if your charity that you suggested is going to be one of those lucky recipients. And don't forget their Kelly Blue Book instant cash offers that are still going on at Mohawk Honda. They have tremendous used vehicles that you can trade in for, or if you want, hey, get cash instantly on site when you trade in. It's a great time. So, hey, if you're looking for a newer used vehicle at Mohawk Honda, you got great people that you can talk to about it. You do. You got Jake Hot Sauce Doyle. You got Louis the VIP Man Morales. You got any of their many consultants that you can go talk to. I know our boy Levac from Levac and Gaz. He just got a vehicle from them back on, I think it was Thursday or Friday, he got a new vehicle. So they're good to us. They're going to be great to you. And make sure you go check them out. Mohawk Honda, Freeman's Bridge Road in Scotia Glenville, where they always go out of their way to please you. That being said, let's bring in JJ back in. Not sure what happened there, but hey, he's back. Hi,
I don't know. I went to click mute, and my whole freaking browser crashed. So luckily, I got back in.
Way to go! So we're going to cover Ring of Honor Final Battle right now. I'm not sure if that even came out as English. Ring of Honor Final Battle. There we go. Now, let me. I'm going to say this. I understand Ring of Honor is disappearing for about 4 months. Mm-hmm. They're teasing a return for April of 2022 after their brief hiatus they're taking to reimagine and reconfigure Ring of Honor for the fans, whatever the fuck that's going to be. Yeah. I understand wanting to go out with a bang, but sometimes you can overdo it. And reading the results of this and seeing a few of the video clips that have come out since then just reeked of overdoing the bang.
Oh, yeah.
Allow me to explain. Let's begin with the pre-show. Now, remind you, they put this in the fucking pre-show. I don't know why. For the life of me, I don't know why they put this in the pre-show.
Here's what I don't understand. I don't understand why this was in the pre-show and the fucking 10-man wildcard tag was in the main show. They should have switched them.
Was it in the main show?
Yes. The 5-on-5 random ass. The 5-on-5 random ass.
Wildcard match?
That was in like the middle of the show. That should have been in the pre-show.
Okay. Okay, for some reason I had it listed as being in the pre-show, but okay, that's fine. Any hooser. So for some fucking reason, they decided to have that, we'll use that as the perfect example, that 10-man tag in the middle of the fucking pay-per-view. But let's open the pre-show with our 6-man tag team title match.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what the fuck are we doing here? So right away, you smell bullshit right away from that happening.
Reeks of WWE.
Exactly.
You don't put title matches in the pre-show.
And not only that, you crowned new 6-man tag champions in that match.
Right.
By putting the belts on Vincent, Bateman, and Dutch.
Yeah.
Good for you, Bill. Good for you. As they beat Shane Taylor Promotions to become the new champs. By the way, Shane Taylor Promotions had an 11-match win streak. So wait, hold on. Yep. I didn't even know that until I just read it. Uh-huh. Not only did you put that title match in the pre-show, not only do you crown new champions in that match in the pre-show,
you had them unbeaten juggernauts.
Fuck are we doing? Oh, breathe. Okay, that's just the beginning. Oh, god damn it. So, on top of that, so after this match, it was announced during the pre-show what the main event was going to be. Because for those of you who weren't paying attention to social media last week, it was announced randomly. I want to say it was Wednesday? Yeah. I think it was Wednesday. Wednesday afternoon, that Bandito tested positive for COVID and therefore was no longer going to be part of Final Battle and also, henceforth, was no longer Ring of Honor World Champ. They stripped him of the title.
Yep.
So they vacated the belt and now had Jonathan Gresham versus TBA. Well, the TBA turned out to be Jay Lethal because fuck it. So they announced
the Ring of Honor title.
Right. They didn't use the current Ring of Honor title belt. They brought back the
Bandito has it.
Right. So they brought out the old silver title with the big ROH red letters across it.
Yep.
So they announced that. Then Rocky Romero was there doing commentary in the pre-show. Mm-hmm. And Brody King approached him and he asked Rocky Romero to join Violence Unlimited as part of an 8-man tag later in the night on the main card.
Uh-huh.
Because God forbid Rocky Romero doesn't get some shine at some point.
Like, and during intermission, Rocky Romero named half of the crowd there as new members of Chaos.
Now, I have to ask this question.
Yeah.
Because we're going to discuss this topic briefly at the end of the show. Well, yeah, we are. We're going to talk about guys going into business for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Is Rocky Romero like one of the ultimate going into business for yourselves kind of guys? Because I feel like there isn't a time in the last 12 months where he's been on the show, Impact, AEW, whatever,
where
and somehow, some way, whether he's on commentary, managing, whatever, it turns out to be about him.
Yep. Absolutely.
I just want to make sure I wasn't just seeing things.
No, you're not.
Like, and the ultimate example, by the way, okay, the fact that Show and Yo in New Japan had to be called Roppongi 3K.
Yep.
Like, it could have been something else if they wanted to. They probably could have thought of a name. Would it have been as flashy as Roppongi 3K? Probably not. But because Rocky had to be their manager, fuck all.
Yeah.
But anyways, I digress.
That was the whole thing on Dynamite. That was the whole thing on Dynamite. When Trent Beretta came out, they started playing the Roppongi music.
Oh, for shit's sake. I didn't watch Dynamite, so I didn't see the whole thing. Oh, fuck me.
Yeah.
Fuck me. Anyways, so then we had a 6-woman tag match where Chelsea Green and Allison Kay and Marty Bell lose. Whatever. After that match,
here's one thing that irks me. They had all those women there, and they had all these pre-taped they had all these pre-taped hellos or whatever from people. One person blatantly was not there. And she actually posted about it on her social media, and she was like, I was not invited. I was not called.
Wait.
Their first women's champion.
I was going to say Sarah Del Rey.
No.
Who was her first women's champion?
Their recent first
Sumi Sakai.
Sumi
Sumi.
She wasn't there. She didn't get to come say hello. They didn't ask her for a pre-tape. Nothing.
Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah,
dirty pool.
Yeah, that was a bit fucked. Then after that match, Tracy Williams, Taylor Rust, and Eli Isom asked EC3 to be on their tag team because go ask the guy who doesn't trust any. Never mind.
Right. No.
Then you have Danhausen joint commentary and
which was good.
Drop CM Punk's name on the broadcast. That's nice. So I guess these results are out of order, but anyways. So you have the wild card. So there's a wild card 10-man tag where, well, I should say 10-person tag.
Yeah.
Malonis, Beer City Bruiser, Cheeseburger, Flip, and PJ Black beat LSG, Demonic Flamita, Will Ferrar, Sledge, and Maxime Paler.
Yeah.
Okay, great. The Maxime Paler Malonis spot was kind of funny though.
Yeah.
Anyways, so the pay-per-view we had Dragon Lee beat Ray Horus. Kind of match you'd expect out of them, basically. Yeah. Eddie Edwards with a video message. Then this one kind of caught me off guard, but I'm okay with it. Rhett Titus won the TV title
in a four-way.
Dalton Castle in a four-way against Dalton Castle, Silas Young, and Joe Hendry.
I mean, but you know what really kind of irks me on that is they pointed out that this is Rhett Titus's first singles title in ROH after 15 years.
Yeah.
Like, bruh.
Well, because, let's see, Rhett and Kenny King tagged for a while.
Yeah.
And then they stuck Rhett with Will Ferrar for like 2 years, I think it was.
Right. But like it just shows, like Rhett's been like a mainstay of ROH for fucking a decade and a half, and
yeah,
it's their final show that he gets a fucking singles title.
Mm-hmm. And then we'll assume he'll come back when they do whatever. But
if the TV title is still in existence, like, because that's the thing you have to worry about is like maybe they just had these like some of these titles change because they're not going to bring them back.
I don't know. I had nothing to say. Hangman Page's video message. Then Josh Woods retains the pure title against Brian Johnson.
Yay.
Jimmy Jacobs has a video message.
Mm-hmm.
Danielson and Shane Taylor beats
Kenny
What
King.
was that?
I said Danielson did a pre-tape message too. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Shane Taylor beats Kenny King in a fight without honor.
Yep.
Did you see the minor
chair?
Did you see the almost deadly fuck up that was going on?
No.
During that match? So,
no.
Kenny and Shane decided it was a good idea to do the ladder across
the ring.
They had one end on the yes. They decided to do that sequence.
Mm-hmm.
So Kenny gets on there fine. Now Shane, he ain't no small chicken.
Right.
Shane is getting on from the barrier side where the legs are. And because of how wide the legs are, that's the less sturdy entryway for that spot.
Right.
Shane, thank God, notices that as he tries taking his first step onto the ladder. So, Shane Taylor waves over. I don't know if it was a cameraman. I don't know if it was just a guy working ringside. But some random schmuck near the timekeeper's table comes over, holds the ladder onto the barrier so Shane can get on to do what ends up being a package pile driver to Kenny King on the ladder.
Yeah.
and they almost die because
fucking.
So, because what happens is he gets Kenny lifted up, and essentially, right as Shane's about to drop, dude lets go of the ladder. Ladder goes like this sideways, almost. It was. If you can find I think it's on Ring of Honor's Twitter feed. If you can find it, the clusterfuck spot. So go look that up. Mm-hmm. Anyways, Shane wins. Punk does a video message because God forbid.
Yeah, Punk's video message was weird. Punk basically said like there would be no pro wrestling now if it weren't for Ring of Honor, or there would be no Ring of Honor if it weren't for him, or some shit like that.
It was very weird. Very, very, very weird.
Yeah.
Then there was a women's title match. Roxy retained against Willow Nightingale, and then God forbid, Deonna Purrazzo doesn't fucking show up.
Right.
She comes out after the match. So essentially,
they're saying Roxy's going to bring the ROH Women's title to Impact.
Correct.
They're saying it. We don't know if it's going to happen.
So Purrazzo basically said, once I take the belt off Mickie James at Hard to Kill, I want your title too. And Roxy already accepted. So
I want the title of a company that's not running.
So everything. Let me try to break down this clusterfuck that's been created. Mickie James has the Impact title.
Yep.
Purrazzo has the AAA Women's title.
Yep.
Roxy here in the middle, right here, has the ROH Women's title. Deonna isn't defending the AAA title yet that I can think of.
Right.
Or she hasn't successfully defended it once by now. She's challenging Mickie James on January 8th for the Impact title at Hard to Kill. Then wants to take the Ring of Honor title from Roxy. And then Taya Valkyrie, who hasn't officially signed to anyone since being released from WWE, has said she wants to take the AAA title off of Deonna.
Yep.
That's about as much sense as I can make of what's going on. So there you go. Adam Cole has a video message. Good for him. Then there's the 8-man tag where Brody King, Homicide,
Tony Deppen,
Rocky Romero, they beat Tracy Williams, Taylor Russ, Eli Iceman, EC3. And then, because fuck it, why not?
Let's blow 25
at the end of the match. At the end of the match, EC3 basically says fuck you to his 3 teammates and has 3 dudes come out to a control your narrative thing on the screen. And who's one of the 3 dudes that comes out?
I'm sure.
The artist formerly known as Braun Strowman.
Well, didn't Tyler Rusk join EC3 in that? Yeah, it was Tyler Rusk, EC3, Adam Scherr, and Wesley Blake. Their Control Your Narrative. All the guys that got future endeavored in the past year from Vince.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah.
And they had Adam Scherr chokeslam Eli Isom for no reason.
To hell. Because fuck it. The Young Bucks did a message because they were really part of the fabric of Ring of Honor, weren't they? Then the Briscoes become 12-time champions by beating Taven and Bennett. And then we continue the fuck all. Because what happens after the Briscoes become 12-time tag champions? Fucking FTR shows up. Like,
because the Briscoes said on Twitter that they wanted to face FTR. And so now the Briscoes are going to show up in AEW for a cup of coffee just for FTR to beat them. And then they're going to be gone. And then what's worse
wouldn't make sense. That wouldn't make sense.
That's all that's going to fucking happen. And here's what's worse. They had it so FTR stole the Ring of Honor belts and made off with them. But then the Briscoes pose pictures in the back with the Ring of Honor belts and put them up on social media. So that ruins that bit of kayfabe. And here it is. Even if they do go to Dynamite or whatever, Sinclair Media is not going to let the ROH titles be featured on their show. Not after the Bucks and all of them fucked over Ring of Honor so hard with All In.
Right.
That's not going to happen. And that's what the fucking robots need to realize.
Which is why I don't think it's going to be AEW.
Was it going to be like GCW or some shit?
No, not even. Well, maybe. But no, I don't think so. FTR is still the AAA Tag Champions.
Oh, God. The Briscoes would get so much heel heat in Mexico. But FTR are the heel.
I'm just saying. I know. It's a problem. I know. But
oh, God.
You really I mean, after the way FTR got heat in Mexico at their last show, you really think the Briscoes would still get heel heat if they came in?
Yes.
And AAA against FTR.
Dem boys ain't very politically correct, if you recall.
Okay, but this is wrestling. This isn't politics.
I'm saying not politically correct as in they don't like a lot of people that aren't the same lifestyle
color
or pigment. And they have been very vocal about it. And people know this, man.
We'll see.
I like the Briscoes, but they was not too courteous on social media a few times, and people remember shit.
Can I have a minor bone to pick, by the way.
Sure.
I have no problem with Jonathan Gresham winning over Jay Lethal. I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
Because I think this will allow Gresham to continue featuring that championship if he decides to when he does Terminus next month.
Right.
My problem is not in the decision to put the belt on Gresham.
Yeah.
You're probably going to say you're being too nitty-picky with this. Here's where I'm a little perturbed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little perturbed with the concept of having Jay Lethal tap out for the loss.
Why?
Jay is clearly the face of that company. And he's going to be the face of that company when they restart. Because I don't see Jay looking at AEW as a permanent home now. And we discussed this.
Either.
We discussed that it's not going to be a permanent home.
I don't either, but I'd be amazed how many people think Jay gave the middle finger to ROH when he didn't. There was a bigger story being told there. Because Lethal and Gresham have faced each other numerous times, and I'm pretty sure Lethal has always gotten the upper hand on Gresham. So it was the buildup of all the times and Gresham finally getting Jay to tap out, especially because the last few weeks of Ring of Honor TV, they were showing dissension in the Foundation, where they actually had Jay cutting promos saying, I don't even like the Foundation anymore. So there was a reason for it. It made it a definitive win. Which is something that Gresham has never really gotten over Jay.
I don't know. I'm very indifferent about the decision to go submission instead of pin there. Maybe I'm just being too nitpicky, but I don't know. I don't know.
I thought it made sense.
Kind of against it.
And when you explain the storyline, of course, not making sense.
That was the one thing that made sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's jump into some WWE talk. Now that we've gotten Ring of Honor out of the way.
I want to get back to ROH later.
Yeah, we'll circle back around to ROH for a quick second afterwards. So I want to start with NXT quick because there's a couple things I need to bring up. Number one, Von Wagner ain't gonna amount to fucking shit if he doesn't learn how to emote.
Jesus, right?
Not that Von Wagner is anticipated to amount to much, but like You can't be monotoned and just have continual resting bitch face in order and expect to get over that way. Like you gotta. Even when he gets angry in the ring, it's not really anger. It's a growl and then nothing. Like it's a growl and then it's continued RBF. It's RBF, 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 a small growl, then RBF, RBF, RBF. Like it's the same fucking face the whole time. It's not. He's not doing anything. He's not producing anything. And then fucking, and now you've got infighting between 2.0 because, what is it? Was it D'Angelo and Waller? No, Waller and LA Knight had an issue because LA Knight had the chick or whatever. But who is it that D'Angelo had an issue with?
Pete Dunne. Like I said, oh no.
But I want to say, didn't D'Angelo call somebody else out?
I think he called out Carmelo.
Yeah. I don't remember. Yes, Carmelo. Like,
and they're having Braun face fucking Roderick Strong.
Right. And that was another part of it. Like, okay, great. He just beat Joe Gacy because it's the weight limit's fucked off, whatever.
Yeah. Even though he beat Joe Gacy, they're still saying fuck all to the actual cruiserweight division.
Right.
And they're
it's non-existent. They fired everyone. They fucking fired everyone.
They didn't fire everyone.
And 205 Live, is it 205 Live? 205 Live is whoever didn't get on TV this week.
And that they're actually going to be changing the name to that. That's what Gacy alluded to with about changing the name of a show. So which is fine. It's not going to be 205 Live anymore. It's going to be NXT Challenge or whatever, because that's basically what it is.
Just bring back superstars and call it a day. Like, the fuck we're doing here? Because essentially what those matches are. Those matches are basically like the same with main event. What was it back in the day? Wrestling Challenge. Tuesday Night Titans was a show at one point.
Action Zone.
Yeah, like
Action Zone was fun. That was
Shotgun Saturday Night.
Jacked in Metal.
Yeah. Whoa. Oh, what was the one that had like the green design to it? Was that one of the ones we just named?
Velocity.
Yes. Look at the big brain on JJ. Velocity. I don't know. They'll think of some stupid name because God forbid they recycle anything except for they love recycling the phrase main event, but they don't like recycling anything else from their history because fuck it.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, they're because they're like I said, they don't know what direction they're going to go in.
It's basically like they want to book Braun into stomping Roderick to lead to stomping Ciampa is essentially what it feels
like. They're going to start absorbing titles. I feel like they're going to start doing.
Which you already have with Mello.
Right.
My question becomes, who goes after the tag? Do you make Mello a double champ?
No. What I mean is they're going to do like Raw in 03 or whatever when they fucking had like Intercontinental champ beat the Hardcore champ and absorbed the belt into it, and then Trips beat the Intercontinental champ and that belt got absorbed into it and there was only one title. That's what they're going to do. They're going to have Braun win the Cruiserweight title, and
why not just rebrand the title?
Get absorbed because that would make sense.
No, you know what would make more sense? If you're gonna do what you're saying, why not just have Roderick face Carmelo and call it a day? That would make sense.
Yeah. No, you've got to have Braun crush something.
I don't know why I bother. What do I bother?
Put a belt on.
Why do I bother making sense?
I know. Welcome to my life.
Door to my deck. Door to my outside deck. Why do I want to try to make sense? Why? Door to the rest of my apartment. Why would I do something to make sense? Why? Fucking Christ. TV that doesn't work. Why would I try to make sense? Why? All right, I'm done. I've overworked the gimmick already. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. I'd just like to point out something.
You were right. I don't know.
It is Monday, December 13th at 2:37 p.m. Look who's still on the active NXT roster.
Johnny Gargano. Is Kyle on there too?
Yes, he is.
Who was that? I can't. So O'Reilly. So look at the stream. So
they're both still on active roster pages.
Which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. At least the Kyle thing kind of makes sense because I don't think his contract technically has expired yet.
Okay.
Johnny's the one that doesn't make sense because
expired on the 10th.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's the one that doesn't make sense because his contract we know is expired and he's selling merch on Pro Wrestling Tees. Like, he's doing, well, what I'm saying is the steps he's making are all the sensible steps talents take when they first get released. They reproduce new merch and put it out there for sale. Here's the one thing Johnny hasn't done, which plays into what I think you're trying to say. He is, at least I don't think he has. I could be wrong because I haven't seen every tweet that's been put out the last few days, and I haven't seen it. I haven't looked at his Twitter profile the last few days. You can go ahead and do that if you want. I don't think Johnny's put out anything saying, I'm going to take bookings starting on date X, Y, and Z. I don't think he has done that. I could be wrong. Because it's the same song and dance by every talent that thinks they're going to be worth something on the indie circuit. They get released. They post a thank you to WWE saying, thank you for this time in WWE. So many great people, greatest time of my life, blah, blah, that kind of shit. And then within 24 hours, hey, go buy my new merch at Pro Wrestling Tees or Fight or whatever the fuck they're doing. And then they're also tweeting about how they're starting to book out dates on date XYZ, like March 15th or some shit. Like it's usually right after the 90-day window expires or the 30-day window if they're from NXT. Like that's the typical formula of a released talent. And I don't think Johnny's done that last part yet, which, like I said, plays into your theory.
He's put up pictures and stuff, but
for his merch.
He's put up stuff for his merch and he's opened a Twitch and a YouTube channel. That's it. Which could very well be part of a new agreement. Because remember WWE said if they had a Twitch channel, they had to get a percentage of it or whatever, and that was why the whole thing is blah 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 or whatever. But it doesn't say I'm gone from WWE. It just says I'm betting. He says I'm betting on myself is what he's saying. But you know something?
Right.
They never said he could never have a Pro Wrestling Tees account because his name, he owns his name. It's his name. So, I mean, they sell fucking Roddy Piper gear on fucking Pro Wrestling Tees and shit like that. And so does WWE. You know, there's nothing that says only indie guys or only AEW guys or whatever can fucking sell over here. And WWE never said, no, you can't. Like I said, and the fact is the whole thing with him getting jumped at the end and then afterwards, they had full on high def cameras filming everything that happened with the three-way hug and with him and Tommaso sitting in the ring doing the pose.
The whole thing stinks. I know. The whole fucking thing stinks.
All that shit was that shit wasn't just fucking cell phone camera shit. That shit was filmed by WWE. WWE doesn't film shit like that if they're not going to use it for something.
I agree.
That's going for a fucking 365 or a 24 or whatever. He may be he may be taking a month and a half off or whatever. They may be giving him the time off until the kid is born. And then he shows up 1 or 2 weeks later. But I do not think that Johnny is gone. For everyone that thinks he's going to show up at Winter is Coming, I doubt it.
No, he can't.
He would, because if his contract expired on the 10th, there's no non-compete if your contract expires. There's only a non-compete if they release you.
We have another extenuating circumstance we have to address, though.
What?
A ton of the merch for the Way and Johnny Gargano is still full price on WWE Shop.
Yep.
Just FYI, just putting it out there.
Yep. If he was, dude, Karrion Kross,
while I'm at it, let me
mark down before he was gone.
While I'm at it, let me look up. And Kyle O'Reilly's ankle lock shirt is still full price.
Yeah.
I get the concept, by the way, behind that Kyle O'Reilly shirt, but that imagery is just fugly. Not a fan of the shirt.
Yeah.
The hook through the X-rayed ankle. Yeah, it just looks weird. Sorry. Anyways, but yeah, like there's pieces that are fitting one puzzle, but there's pieces fitting the totally different puzzle. Right. Like I don't know which way to.
And like they wouldn't. Like,
I don't know where to go.
They wouldn't give Johnny the fucking 10-minute overrun to say goodbye if he was actually leaving.
Right.
Like, unless he was flat out retiring for good. But even then, when Edge did it, they gave him the opening of the program. They didn't give him the fucking main event spot. Like,
right.
And I love how some people are like, they did it for Jeff Hardy back in 2003. Like, no, they didn't. Like, these are people saying that they did that weren't alive in 2003. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a puzzle that nobody seems to have a good answer for.
You don't get to say goodbye in WWE. You don't. Unless you are retiring. You don't get to say goodbye. I'm going to the other channel. You don't get to say goodbye. I'm going to Japan. You don't get to do any of that. Did Daniel Bryan get that? No. Daniel Bryan did the job on his way out, and that was all you heard of it.
Since you brought it up, I'll throw out a hypothetical.
Uh-huh.
Because I feel like you have a good feel. Good English, Brian. I feel like you have a good sense for the totality of his career.
Yeah.
As far as knowing the general ins and outs of it.
Mm-hmm.
You think Johnny would be satisfied if this were it?
Yeah.
I'm just throwing out the hypothetical because, that's the option C nobody's been bringing up. And I'm not saying it's a legitimate option C, but you kind of insinuated it a little bit as an option just a moment ago. So,
yeah, I mean, I don't know, because Johnny treated every takeover like WrestleMania. And and he was known as Johnny Takeover. Like, he main evented more takeovers than anyone. Johnny is he was the first Triple Crown champion in NXT. Like, those are accolades that will stand forever. So, yeah, like if he decides he's done, and even if he decides to, just to re-sign as a coach, because they obviously have an extra position open now.
And they could use it. Bad.
Yeah. It would, it would be nice. It would be nice to know that when Norman Smiley and Matt Bloom and stuff have to step down, that they can leave it to Gargano,
in good hands,
Ciampa, and Dunn. Go for it.
Good thinking. All right, so let's transition to. I don't even know which one's the better way to go. Let's go with SmackDown first. I feel like there's less to bitch about from SmackDown.
Fuck Brock.
So, yeah, that's the first thing I kind of want to bring up.
It's
why are they forcing him to be like? Here's my question about the whole Brock thing.
Mm-hmm.
Why are they trying to? I get Roman's the heel. I fucking get that.
Yeah,
but I feel like they're trying to force feed Brock into full-fledged face when he's not a full-fledged face. He's a dilly-gaff guy.
But that's the thing.
If you don't know what dilly-gaff is, it don't look like I give a fuck.
But they're having him play the face by not doing baby face shit. He's still doing heel shit.
I know. It doesn't make sense.
So The Undertaker and Kane were monsters. And when they were baby faces, they were reserved monsters. They didn't just beat the fuck out of people for beating the fuck out of people. You would never see babyface Undertaker beat the crap out of a guy in a wheelchair.
True.
Like,
they left that to Shawn Michaels.
What?
They left that to Shawn Michaels.
Right.
And they had him do it when it was off the air already. Yeah. Sorry. But random 1997 flashback.
Yeah. But it was like, here we go. We had him completely crush fucking Sami Zayn the week before, which made no sense in the fucking, we already went over why that made no sense. And then, so here you go, you have Sami Zayn who's fucking injured again. And you have Brock come in and be like, I'm going to fuck up everyone in this ring because I want to. Because Paul Heyman reminded me that I'm supposed to fuck up everyone. Or some bullshit. Like, so two random indie guys who are more jacked than any orderly I've ever seen in my life. In fucking nurse scrubs. And one of them fucks up his spot going through the fucking ropes. Sorry, kid. They're never going to call you again.
Here's the other thing, too. Now, again, I don't know if this is a conscious choice or just a complete coincidence. Why do we have to see Brock in fucking overalls? Like, it's fucking weird. He's a farmer. Just fuck all, whatever. What else do I want to bitch about?
I killed a moose. So,
here's with his bare hands, probably.
No, that was his whole thing. Was he had a flip phone and he killed a moose.
Oh yeah. But again, he probably did it with his bare hands. Friday night is the first time I feel like we officially felt the backlash of Nick Khan. Two ways. Number one, what's the point of having RK Bro compete on SmackDown? You have New Day, you have Bloodline. Like, what's the need to throw RK Bro into that match?
Especially
there's no need
to see who the best team in WWE is based on a Twitter poll. And I'm like, yeah, like you didn't fucking rig those numbers.
There's no fucking point to it.
Right.
There's no point. I don't give a shit about your Twitter poll. There's no fucking point to it. Let RK Bro be RK Bro on SmackDown Raw. There's no need for the crossover. It's not Survivor Series anymore.
The only reason they did that is because we have seen New Day and Bloodline so many times that somebody thought, well, we need something to freshen the pot.
Well, make some new fucking tag teams then.
Even though New Day and Usos always pull out a banger of a fucking match, so there's not a problem there. The fans don't mind it.
That's when you put them on fucking pre-show.
Exactly. But it's like for everyone that bitches, we don't want to see Roman versus Brock again, which I agree because I hate Brock. But Roman and Brock, counting what's upcoming at day one, have faced each other 5, maybe 6 times. New Day and Usos have worked each other at least 15 times in the past 2 years. At least.
Like, here's the thing. I know the Bloodline are heels, but like, if that's really the case, and you really want to go against the grain of having simply Bloodline versus New Day, grab Sheamus and Ridge Holland.
Right.
As much as you don't like them, go grab Carrillo and Angel Garza.
Right.
Like,
grab the fucking grab the Viking Raiders.
The War Raiders, the Viking Raiders. Yeah, you have another face team you can use if you want.
Dude, I will say that's the one good thing that came out of SmackDown was they're letting Boogs work like the way he looks.
Right. I mean, shit. Even have fucking. You could do Sami Zayn and Baron Corbin. I don't know, some shit. Like there's
Corbin and fucking Moss.
Moss, yeah. There's made pairings there,
right?
Like you don't have to settle for the sake of settling, and then feel like, oh, we're bored with settling, so let's settle with a caveat. And you bring an RK Bro from Raw. That's fucking stupid.
Yep.
But here's the second reason why we're feeling the effect of Nick Khan. Did you see what the dark main event was after they went off the air?
No, I didn't.
Okay. So live shows on weekends, they've been doing a lot of Charlotte versus Sasha.
Yeah.
Now, again, this was LA, so it might have been just because it was LA. But I decided to spice things up a little bit. They had a fatal four-way. Do you want to guess who the other two women were?
Becky and Liv.
Close. Becky and Bianca. Because Charlotte Sasha isn't good enough? Like,
because it's the Staples Center. Like,
But you have Natalya in the building. You have Shayna Baszler. You have Toni Storm. Xia Li just made her debut. You have other talents you can fucking use, but you have to bring in Becky and Bianca for fuck all?
The only reason I see them doing that shit with the bring in the extra people is because, like I said, because it's the Staples Center and because the Staples Center is about to no longer be the Staples Center. And there are so many events so many pay-per-views that WWE has held there. It was basically like the West Coast Garden, for lack of a better term. So they wanted to go out with a bang the last time it's the Staples Center before it becomes the Crypto.com Center. That's the only other thing I could think of. Hey, remember when I sent you that thing where that stupid motherfucker said that they were at a house show and Nick Khan was there?
Yeah.
Yeah, because we completely forgot that something that fucking what happened between last week that we talked and this week is Jeff Hardy's gone. We talked about it last week and now he's gone. But he's gone because he refused to go to rehab.
Yeah.
He said no. So that's kind of on Jeff.
Still full price too.
What?
His t-shirts are still full price too, by the way.
Well, yeah, because they're gonna get everything out of him until his 90 days is up.
Right. Raw. A couple things I want to bring up. Number one.
Fucking trash.
Yeah, fucking. What are we doing? Like,
they're gonna make day one a 4-way.
If they do make this a 4-way, I'm gonna fucking scream.
They're gonna make it a 4-way.
I'm gonna fucking scream.
And Big E's gonna go over because it's gonna be 3 heels and a baby face.
Did you know, by the way, they made the Usos versus New Day official for day one?
Yeah. Which is why they did the 3-way on SmackDown, because they need to find something to drag out for a couple weeks.
So stupid. So fucking stupid. So first we get Kevin Owens being thrown into Seth Rollins thing for fuck's sake. Now we got Lashley getting thrown into this shit for fuck's sake.
Yep.
How bored do you have to be?
Because hold on.
Like, it's getting ridiculous at this point. Like, the only thing I can think of with this WWE title stuff is that maybe they want to have things set up for Seth saying he never got a fair shot, and then Seth comes back around at Rumble and gets his quote-unquote fair shot.
That's what it's going to be. But it's like, this is what makes no sense. Lashley lost to Big E, and then Big E beat him a week later. So he shouldn't be in the title contention whatsoever.
Right. Oh, God. That's number one. Number two. I'm not trying to be rude with what I'm about to say, but it might come off as rude.
Oh, boy.
We don't need or want Liv Morgan as the Raw Women's Champion.
Yeah, no shit.
Even though social media
was going to happen.
Even though social media fucking wants it so bad, even though the internet trolls in their mommy's basement, even though the internet trolls in mommy's basement are jerking their loads so bad for Liv Morgan, we don't fucking need it, and we honestly don't fucking want it. The only reason you want it is because you want a fresh piece of ass look at and say, ooh, that's our champion. It has nothing to do with talent. I'm not saying Liv Morgan has no talent, but
I am.
Let's just call a spade a spade. You would, because you're an asshole. Let's just call a spade a spade. It's more or less people like this is. You know what this is? This is they're trying to. They're fucking shit. They're trying to make a square peg fit into a round hole here.
Yeah.
Because it seems like every so often we get that sentimental wrestler. Like Daniel Bryan was a sentimental wrestler going into WrestleMania, the build for WrestleMania 30. Kofi was a sentimental wrestler. Everybody got behind it for WrestleMania 35. And now all of a sudden we're going to pluck a female for no fucking reason and make her the sentimental wrestler. And now, because of that, you're going to corner WWE into thinking, you know what? Maybe this Becky Lynch was the sentimental person everybody was pushing for. And she went over on Charlotte and Ronda in New York. Like, I really hope this isn't going to be the next one that Bianca, like, there's always that one. Bianca was one this past year. Please don't make me live. Please don't. Please don't. No.
But I told you, they had Becky go over her dirty so they could have another match at fucking day one. Becky is their Hogan. Becky's untouchable right now.
Ooh. Don't let Charlotte Flair hear you say that.
Charlotte's their savage.
That's oh boy. Wow. Charlotte, do not listen to him. I did not say that. You can tweet at JJ_Alexander. Do not email brian.katie@GodzillaMedia.com. Tweet
I'm
at
sure Charlotte would
JJ_Alexander.
agree with the sentiment.
What's the other thing? Oh, I got this. Okay. This on? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I have breaking news. Corey Graves is engaged to Carmella. So if you think he's going to sit there and not drop comments about how hot she is, go watch something else on television. Thank you very much. What's the point of picking on his commentary? Do you think he's not going to sit there and say something like that?
It's because it's annoying because we get it. And plus, you know, hey, Carmella, I have some advice for you. You can't turn a hoe into a housewife. And I'm not saying Carmella's the one. I'm saying, Carmella, you cannot turn a hoe into a house husband. If you think that he's not going to cheat on you the way he cheated on his wife with you, you're going to learn the raw, hard way.
That is an issue. I'll give you that. That is an issue. Oh, that's an issue.
And all stop trying to look like Javi from Repo the Genetic Opera.
The masks are getting to be a bit much.
She looks like Pavi.
But the masks need to fucking stop. I'll give you that.
It's like if you haven't seen Repo, you need to watch it.
I'll look it up. Repo, as in Repo Man, REPO?
Repo the Genetic Opera, yes.
Okay. Got it. We're doing two small bits of business to get into, but you said you wanted to circle back to Ring of Honor for a hot second. So what do we need to circle back to?
Just want to do a little memory lane to Ring of Honor.
Okay.
If you have any memory, I don't know if you had ever gone to any ROH shows.
Didn't have the benefit, no.
Wow. So I went to quite a few. But I will tell you this, because I noticed like a lot of workers were sharing their memories of Ring of Honor online, and it was funny because the ones that were being your typical edgelords were like, "Oh, I worked there once and they never looked at me again, so fuck Ring of Honor. I'm glad they're dying and all this shit." And it's really pathetic, because especially like one person who shall remain nameless wrote like, "Oh, I had a tryout match and I showed up late so I couldn't help out Ring Crew, so Adam Pearce chewed me out, and then I had a match and the crowd didn't care about who I was, and then they never called me again, so fuck them." Well, guess what? There's a whole lot of bits there as to why they never called you back, so that was on you.
Sounds like something that would have been posted by Fox Vineyard. Anyways, go ahead.
Amazingly, no, it was someone who was actually a hell of a worker in his time before he got fat. But whatever, I'm not going to talk about that.
Go ahead.
But I'd like to share my first Ring of Honor show experience. My first Ring of Honor show was almost my last because it was that bad of a fucking show. So I had watched a couple of ROH DVDs, and I actually bought tickets online with a couple of friends for a show in Mass. It was outside of Boston. I want to say Braintree. I think it was in Braintree. It was Braintree or Dorchester. I forget which. The place had horrible parking, so it took us forever to find a parking space. We got in. Now, mind you, I paid for second row seats, because they actually charge you for first, second, third, and then GA. I paid for second row seats. We got in there. The first match was already underway. First match was Brian Kendrick versus Alex Shelley. Brian Kendrick was still spanky at the time. We go looking for our seats, and there's nothing available in our section. And I'm like, "Yo, what the fuck? I'm supposed to have these seats." And they're like, "Oh, we oversold." And so they literally pulled out chairs and put us behind, and like ROH actually had full lighting rigs set up with fucking light posts. And they put us behind one of those light posts, so I couldn't see shit the whole night. I paid extra for second row. These were like $40 a seat fucking tickets. And I couldn't see shit. The reason we bought tickets, because that was Austin Aries' first title defense. He was defending against Colt Cabana. On that show, we saw Samoa Joe versus Nigel McGuinness, which lasted a minute and a half, with all the robots, ROH-BOTS, robots chanting for Samoa Joe, who no-sold Nigel and then put him in the rear naked choke in 2 minutes, and that was it. And it was a shit match. There was a 4-way tag team match that was, who the fuck was it? I remember Carino and Punk was one of the teams. Romero and Reyes was one of the teams. Oh, fuck. I think it was like 2 members of Special K and 2 members of fucking Generation Next or something. I don't know. Literally, what did you say the
show was?
I want to say 04. Either late 04 or early 05. Just check for Austin Aries' first title defense. But the whole fucking the promo before the match was like 25 minutes fucking long, because this is when Carino and Punk had their I think Dave Prazak was their personal ring announcer, and just kept going, like went on this huge ass fucking promo about nothing for like 20 minutes. I was just like, are we gonna have a match or what? Like, the whole night was just a horrible fucking night. It was a bad show. Like, companies have bad shows. It happens. I was just pissed because I spent extra money to get good seats. I didn't get my good seats. On top of it, the show wasn't that great. Fucking fucking like 2 minutes into the title match, Austin Aries gave Cabana a fucking brainbuster on the ramp, and then like they like stopped the match for like 10 minutes. And then they're like, oh no, Cabana's good to go, and bring him in the ring, and the match is over. Like, just everything about the whole night was bad. And so I went home, and this was back in the day of the message board, several message boards, and I wrote like how my disdain for the show. And I got eaten alive by these fucking keyboard warriors telling me I just don't know what good wrestling is, and blah blah blah, and all this shit, because the show wasn't about me, because I like to fucking like make myself about everything in the crowd, like some dumb ass shit. I'm like, no, it was a bad fucking show. It happens. And like I said, I went to shows after that and I enjoyed them. But that particular show wasn't that great. And then a few years later, there was a conversation online on the same message board about shows you've been to which weren't that great. And I brought up that Ring of Honor show under a different screen name. And all these people agreed with me that it was a bad show.
That's weird.
So it just goes to show you.
So here's what I'm seeing here.
Okay.
Aries first won the belt at Final Battle 04 off of Joe. Does that sound correct?
Yeah, so it was the first event of 05.
Okay.
I remember it was winter.
Yeah. I'm trying to find the exact thing, but here's what I don't get sent, what doesn't make sense for me, and this is going off the beaten path for a second.
Okay.
So he beats Joe for the title in Final Battle 04, and then he drops it to Punk, who was under WWE contracted by then?
No, he didn't drop it to Punk until the next summer.
Let me see here. Because the profile I'm looking at shows that he dropped it in June of 05.
Yeah.
Right.
So the show I was at was January of 05.
Right, but I'm saying he dropped it 6 months after he won the belt to Punk. Wasn't Punk already under WWE contract in June of 05?
Yeah, that was the whole thing. Was Punk signed, the whole thing was everyone knew Punk was leaving, so no one thought Punk was going to win the belt. Punk won the belt, and because he was reporting
his contract on the title.
He signed his contract on the belt because he was reporting to OVW. He wasn't going straight to TV, so they gave him the extension to work ROH while still going to OVW.
By the way, I think I found the video of the Aries Cabana match. I'm going to try to see if it's the right one, but go ahead, continue.
But it was just, and I remember on the way home, that was the night that we stopped at a rest area so I could get gas. I pulled out of the rest area. It was a rest area in Charlton, Mass. God damn it, dog.
January 15th, 2005.
There you go. But
That's the date.
I was pulling out of the fucking Charlton rest stop on the way home, and I got pulled over by a Mass State Trooper who said he clocked me at doing 90 when I was like, dude, I just left that rest area. I can still see it in my rearview mirror. There's no way I got up to that speed. He gave me a ticket. I pled not guilty. Never heard back.
Nice. Alex Shelley versus Spanky. Backstage shit. Deranged versus Azrael, I think it was.
Deranged and Azrael, yep.
Strong and did a gauntlet challenge.
Oh yeah. Oh, that awful shit. Yeah.
Which were two of CM Punk's students before he gave up running the dojo to.
And this was a week after Strong tapped out to Angle on SmackDown.
Gotcha.
Because everyone was chanting you tapped out, and so then he had to get his heat back because he did the job on WWE TV.
And then Carino and Punk versus Carnage Crew versus Ricky Reyes and Rocky Romero.
That was Carnage Crew, that's right.
And then intermission. Then they had Nigel and Joe, the shit show match you were talking about.
Yep.
Then the start of a best-of-5 series, a tap-out match between Homicide and Bryan Danielson.
Yep. I was there for 2 of those matches. I was there for that one, and I was there for the one fucking in Dorchester, fucking that winter. Like
it was a cage. Wait, Cabana and Aries was a cage match?
No, it was not. No, it was not.
Why the fuck is this listed as a cage match? That's weird.
I don't know, but that was not a cage match.
Got beat up.
And after the title match was a promo between Mick Foley and Joe. Foley offered Joe a spot in the Royal Rumble. Like, that was a bunch of bullshit, because that was when Foley was coming back to Ring of Honor to fucking feud with Joe for no fucking reason.
Yeah, I just saw that. Yeah, that's just weird. I don't know who would do that.
But yeah, it was just overall, it was a bad show, and like, I just remember people were so fucking faithful to Ring of Honor that they were just like, ROH can do no wrong. And I'm like, every company can do wrong. It happens.
So
no company is infallible.
Holy shit. So,
and it's like, my final thought on the matter is, it's the same mentality that you see people with AEW with nowadays.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's the exact same mentality.
So the Carnage Crew, I briefly mentioned them in passing in those results.
I love Logan DeVito.
Do you know who they lost to at Final Battle a couple weeks prior?
Don and Marcos?
No. BJ Whitmer.
And Dan Moff.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, because Moff and Whitmer were tagged like a lot at the time.
Jesus.
Yeah, because it was 05 was like the year the Carnage Crew and Dunn and Marcos were feuding for like most of the year.
Gotcha. But yeah, there is video. It was that first title defense of Aries was a Throwback Thursday clip Ring of Honor posted in August of 2017 on YouTube. So if you want to look it up, folks, it's out there. Not that hard to find.
It wasn't a good match.
You said it, not me. All right. So real quick, I gotta bring up a topic that came across my timeline over the last 24 hours, and I know your opinion of it, but it leads to a broader topic. So yesterday, I'm going about my business, watching the NFL, and praying to God I win the first round of my fantasy football playoffs in my one league. And I come across this link to an article about an independent wrestler who has quite the reputation, to say the least, from what I was able to read up on eventually. This dude's name is Hannibal. These days, though, he's going under a masked gimmick called the Blood Hunter. His real name is Devin Nicholson, just to put it out there. Yep. He had a match at some indie show. Again, I still haven't been able to pin down where this match was or what promotion it was for, but it was against the artist formerly known as Carlito.
Carly Colon.
Yes. So this match happens, and it's been very muddled to figure out. Now, I know what your reaction is because of the way certain things are. But there's a mixed reaction as to whether this is a work, if this is a shoot, if this is a work that accidentally became a shoot. There's confusion going on. So here's what happened. After the match, a referee that wasn't the official referee for the match was in the ring with this Hannibal dude named Lando Del Toro. Mm-hmm. And Hannibal proceeded to get Del Toro laying on his stomach in the ring. Hannibal goes into full mount on him, which basically means he was straddling him. He was sitting down on his waist with his legs on either side of him, so he couldn't go anywhere. Mm-hmm. He takes a fucking spike, pulls Del Toro's head back, and just starts going at his forehead like it's nobody's business. Mm-hmm. To the point where whatever female valet of his was outside of the ring had to get in the ring to stop Hannibal after like 10 or 12 licks of this thing that he had. They had to bring Del Toro to the hospital to stabilize him because he was bleeding out, and to the point where he had a torn artery in his head.
Yep.
And since then, the various videos from the crowd, as well as the actual hard cam that was used to film the show, various clips of this incident have come out on YouTube and Twitter. The referee that was the person that was the actual referee of the match actually got quoted in saying that the cops were called. He gave a statement, said it was believed to be an assault, but was told by Kevin Sullivan.
Gave the cops.
Who, yeah. Like, I'm assuming is the booker or some kind of higher up within this indie company.
No, he was just booked on the show.
Oh, he was booked on the show. That's even great. That's even better. That's even fucking better. He's not even part of the fucking company. He just happened to be there. He tells his referee to kayfabe the cops and essentially play it off. Okay. So this ref was also quoted as saying, quote, "As a ref, the most critical thing I can offer the people I work with is that I will make sure they are safe, and I feel like I completely failed at that. I should have stopped the match immediately when I noticed something was off. I apologize for that." And the reason he said that is because he noticed, apparently at some point during this match against Carlito, the ref of the match that wasn't the one attacked noticed that Hannibal seemed a bit off for whatever reason. And then since then, Del Toro put out a tweet and a Facebook update with different pictures, different angles of him. They had to shave his head bald so that they could address all the different stab wounds.
Right.
He has staples all over his goddamn head now. He has a couple slash marks on his forehead. He looks a fucking hot mess. But he is stabilized. He's back home now. He's recovering. So that's the good side of it.
Yeah.
The bad side of it is nobody seems to know, A, if there's been any follow-up to this with Hannibal by the promoter or the cops, and B, because of lack of follow-up that's been put out there, it's leading some people, including Mr. Alexander here, to believe that this is truly a work. But I think we can agree that if it is a work, it went to an extreme that was completely fucking unnecessary.
It's what we call, because you know how people say worked shoot?
Yes.
This is what we call a shot work.
Okay. So essentially you're saying it was. So essentially you're saying it's a work that was poorly executed by a shit wrestler.
Yes. Not it's just it's a work that the execution went horribly wrong. But like I said, I don't know if I said it to you or I said it to someone else who I was having this conversation with, but basically I put this akin to you need to remember in the annals of fucked up shit that has happened in this business that mass transit asked to get color. And then you saw what happened. So this is my synopsis. I believe that Hannibal was going into business for himself. Yes. But I believe that he was going into business with himself by talking to this other referee and saying, listen, I want to do this gimmick where I'm fucking berserk and crazy. And I want to know if you'll fucking take part in it. And I want to make it look like I'm stabbing you, but I'm not really going to stab you. And the dude probably said, okay. And Hannibal probably lied to him and said, the promoter already knows, yada, yada, yada. And so what happens is they go through with it. Hannibal is completely fucking because he's already known for not being completely mentally stable and fucking went. And because he was just in the moment and fucking stupidity and ends up fucking opening up an artery on the guy, but he's too busy being in the moment of looking like a wild man. So that's why the valet is trying to get him off. And then what happens is one of the other workers who is just like, this isn't part of what is supposed to happen. They go and call the cops. And so then what happens is fucking Hannibal probably comes to the back and probably gives the Iggy to Sullivan and says it was a work, because no matter how much of a carny Kevin Sullivan is, if there is something that fucked up going on that was not planned by some semblance of people on the staff, Kevin Sullivan would not tell people to kayfabe the cops. He would say like, shit, this dude's fucking crazy, dude. He needs to go in a jail cell. Like, I guarantee it. He wouldn't be like, yeah, it's fine. No. Sullivan's a carny, but not that much of a carny. And then the coup de grace of it is the fact that there's a Reddit thread about it, and the other referee, not the one that was attacked, comes on and says, I don't know what was going on, blah, 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 blah. But then Hannibal comes on and says, all you're seeing is cell phone cam footage. The high quality footage is going to be out in the next few days. Stay tuned. That right there, that's your crux of he was planning it. And there was only one or two other people in on it, and the rest of the locker room was not in on it at the time. Because I will admit to you, in days gone by, there have been angles that have happened at shows that I've been a part of that only a couple people knew about. And the whole rest of the locker room thought it was a shoot. It happens.
I have a question.
Okay.
Let me put this hypothetical in your hand.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say it's your promotion.
Mm-hmm.
This is what you want to end the show with. Do you feel like this kind of presentation to end your show is A, proper, and B, worthy of having only a couple people in the know about?
Myself? No.
Yes. To both.
But myself, that's a no to both. But I'm not a bunch of these other fucking shitbag promoters. Like, we've seen promoters that book fucked up shit for the sake of they think that it's going to be a big draw for their next show. But when you're doing it at a show that, 17 people are at, it's not going to matter come the next, we're talking, think about, and like, I hate to keep bringing up New Jack, but think about the promoter that booked New Jack versus Gypsy Joe in front of fucking 15 people in Tennessee.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
And I hate to bring it up. Think about the guy that booked New Jack and Hunter Red. Like it, because you're talking Hannibal. This is the guy that I mentioned to you that you didn't even know before we went on the air. This is the guy that got Hep C from Abdullah the Butcher back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And then sued Abby saying that his career was over. But luckily, there's medication to get rid of Hep C now. So that's why he came back, but he's under a hood.
Right.
And it's really fucked up that he got Hep C and came back as the Blood Hunter. Like, that's bad.
Fucked up or coincidental?
No, that's bad taste. And that's bad taste from me saying that's bad taste.
Hey, vey. All right. Before we get into the return of a very special segment, I have to bring up some breaking news real quick.
Okay.
And I know this is going to bring things somber, but I feel like we'd be remiss if we don't at least mention this because it literally just passed my timeline. Jimmy Rave has passed away. Jimmy Rave has been known at trouble over the years with addiction at various times, and has had it kind of rough. Has had it rough the last 12 months before his passing. He announced in November 2020 he had to retire because of an infection that required amputation of his left arm, and then he had a MRSA infection that led to both legs being amputated back in October of this year. And apparently, news has just come out as we're doing this recording here on Monday, December 12th. that he has passed away at the age of 39. Jimmy had wrestled in various promotions, including for NWA, Dragon Gate USA, Ring of Honor, TNA. So Jimmy Rave has passed away at the age of 39. Any personal thoughts of Jimmy's career and what you remember of him?
Jimmy's career was Jimmy's career. Kid never got out of AJ Styles' shadow. Looks like the Ring of Honor kids finally got their wish with him. That Jimmy Rave, while he was there, no matter at what point in his time, the chant was always "Die, Jimmy, die." I'm going to be completely honest because as someone who has lost a limb due to a MRSA infection, I actually felt bad for Jimmy Rave when I found out about what he was going through, until I found out about how many workers he screwed out of money with messaging them and saying, "I need money for prescriptions. I'll pay you back, yada, yada." And I know you shouldn't speak ill of the dead, but I know a lot of people that he owed a lot of money to because he lied to them. And I also know that the reason he started getting his troubles was because of his demons. And the initial infection he got was because of dirty needles. So while it is a tragedy, I'll just say that's it. It's a tragedy.
Okay. Fair enough. Finally, let's get to the return of an oldie but a goodie. And this is actually one I've been waiting for ever since I learned who it was going to be about. I can't wait. This is return of Behind the Blackball with JJ Alexander. For those who may not have heard or seen previous incarnations of this segment, Mr. Alexander, would you care to just briefly explain the purpose of this segment and then go into your nominee, your induction into this list for the week?
So the inception of the segment known as Behind the Blackball originally started on my old podcast, Full Circle Radio Reloaded, where we would basically, or more, I was usually the informer, just letting the word out to local wrestling promotions, promoters, wrestlers who may be looking for bookings on certain shows with people that do not belong in wrestling anymore. People who, for legitimate reasons, should not be getting booked, should not be getting noticed. And this isn't just like, I don't like this people. These are people who the original person was called out for being a rapist and a female abuser. Like, these are people, we were like, I don't want to say like I was doing speaking out before speaking out was a thing, but it was along that line. So, and I don't take joy in having to do these. I say that every time, but it's true. I don't take joy in having to name names on things like this, but there's some people just, they're just such scum, and they don't deserve to be part of this business. It's family to some of us. And if you've got a family member that's a fucking asshole, the family cuts them off. You don't talk to that family member anymore. So, that being said, a certain worker has popped up recently, and I wasn't a fan of this guy to begin with. I mean, I was actually a fan of his work at one time, but then I shared a locker room with him a couple of times, and then I learned about certain views, and then things got a little worse. And okay, you're a flat earther or whatever, you're stupid. I don't care about that. However, in the past week, I want to say it's the QUI 100, I think the Queer Wrestling Illustrated 100 or whatever. It's basically it was a top 100 list of wrestlers that are either bisexual, pansexual, transsexual, like, all the colors of the rainbow. And it was a great thing that they put out. It was really good for a lot of people to be recognized. And a lot of people that I know were actually put on that list. And it was great because they got recognition as not only being excellent workers, but being excellent workers holding up a torch for a cause. And this person decided to be an asshole about it. And I'm talking about Mark Angel, who was formerly known as Mr. Touchdown in Chikara. Mark Angel went out of his way to find people who posted about being ranked in the 100 just to harass them in their timelines. One particular person who came out as pansexual in the past year, but currently has a wife, is male with a wife, but they just said, by the way, I'm pansexual. He decides to go on their timeline and go, fuck you. You think you're a hero because you like to get your shit pushed in. And then continues to keep going. And he was just like, yeah, I didn't even know who you were until a group chat of mine pointed you out. So I just want to come here and say you're a worthless fag and all this shit. And just doing this to numerous people. Just such hateful bullshit. You can be stupid with your fucking non-fucking science wanting to learn ass. I don't care. You just go be stupid somewhere else. But when you become that much of a hateful son of a bitch that you have to stalk people's fucking social media just to harass them because of the lifestyle that they have, you're a piece of shit. And you don't deserve to get booked anywhere. I don't care how many 5-star matches you've put on for how many fucking indie companies. You don't deserve to step in a fucking ring. You don't deserve to share a fucking locker room with that kind of fucking attitude. And I fucking pray that karma hits you so fucking hard one day, because that's fucking bullshit. Mark Angel, Mr. Touchdown, you're a fucking piece of shit. And any promoter that books him, you're a piece of shit. Plain and simple.
Out of curiosity, did he have any more relationships with Chikara in the last 12 to 24 months?
I don't know, because Chikara went belly up after all the speaking out stuff.
Right.
So, and the last I knew, the last I'd seen him in Chikara, he was tagging with Hatfield.
Right.
But I have no clue what happened outside of that. I also know, and I will put this out too. I know that he would message dick pics to female talents, and then he would also get pictures of female talents at shows, like pictures that fans have snapped and put online, and then draw dicks in their mouths and send them to them. Real classy guy.
Sounds like it. Oh boy.
Yeah, that's some bullshit.
I don't know. I'm trying to see. I think I found. Hey, look who I found. Yep, I found the asshole.
Yep.
Not on Twitter. I found him on Facebook. I'm trying to see.
Yeah, I unfriended him a while back, but I saw him pop up on a friend's feed with that shit.
Oh, don't worry. I'm not a friend with him. I just wanted to look him up real quick.
Yeah. I was like, are you fucking kidding me with the shit this guy's saying?
Give
me a fucking break.
I'm trying to think. I know I worked at least one show with him. I'm trying to remember what it was. What was it? I want to say... Did he work any NEFW shows while we were there?
Yes. He worked the Waterbury one. against JT
That's
Dunn.
it. That's right. That's right.
Speaking of, today's a 7-year anniversary of RPW Saves Christmas.
7 years?
7 years ago. That was the show. I don't think you were there. That was the show where Eric and Beth ended up leaving before the show because Beth's uncle was in the hospital and left the booking up to Jimmy Mees, myself, and Jeremy Leary. And there was a whole bunch of infighting that show.
All right. First of all, I only went to one show once it became RPW. It was a show that, for whatever reason, I got roped into doing.
Look what I found.
Speaking of RPW.
Yeah, I was going through laundry in the basement and found my old RPW shirt.
In the basement. Never mind.
It's because I'm still unpacking from when we moved into the house, and there's a ton of laundry that I haven't even done. So,
oh, good. The shirt was buried.
Bins upon bins of shirts.
The shirt was buried. That sounds fitting.
Yeah. This was the show. This was the show that where Chris Envy was making his first U.S. title defense against Anthony Gangone. It was after Chris Envy beat JT Dunn for the title.
So, 7 years.
And it was the show where Aaron Morrison retired for the first time.
Hold on. You got me curious now. Now I gotta hold on. Now I feel like I need to go into my memories and see if maybe I have something on this. Hang on.
I know I do.
Because I'm sure I'm tagged in something. Nope, that was definitely after I was gone. Yep.
Yeah.
That was definitely after I was gone. Yeah. Because on this date, 8 years ago, I plugged something. Oh, Christ. Yeah, I remember what I was plugging. Now we're going to fucking go back in time. Hold on here. Let me pull this shit up. I'm going to pull this up, and you're going to be like, oh, boy. Sorry, folks. We're having a little flashback into, I don't know if they're good old days, but they're old days. We'll put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the... For whatever reason, this is the next show that I have being pubbed on my from my memories. This is apparently after Season's beating. Not Season's beatings. Yeah. Was it Season's beatings? I can't remember.
Against the yep. So that was that one. That show, that was the one in Springfield at the fucking Knights of Columbus that was upstairs. That was Envy versus fucking Mancini there in a fucking
the boxing match. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the one. This is the show that Mancini sold.
Yeah. Yeah, that was 8 years ago. Yeah, that was what Mancini did. JT Dunn was still the U.S. champ. That's where, motherfucker. So that's the show. You can pull it on the graphic. I will tell you this. 2 things happened that fucking show. One, that was the show where dumbass Guyliner fucking made his fucking debut. DG Haven. This motherfucker.
That's right.
That's this motherfucker.
Yeah. That was also the first show after I got fired, but go ahead.
Yeah. This son of a bitch was all, I'm a movie producer, because he did some fucking B horror movies with Good Haven Productions. So, and his name was David Gear. So his name was DG Haven. He paid for bots for Facebook likes. This guy literally managed one guy in a battle royal at House of Hardcore, and then tried to convince Eric that he fucking legit had 17,000 Facebook likes. And that he was this big player and he would come in for an autograph sign. This dude. So I did commentary for that show with Lurch. And I swear, you can find some of the matches online. This motherfucker did the same because he was managing Wolfgar. I forgot who Wolfgar was. Wolfgar was working the Mac, I believe. He fucking did the same manager jump on the fucking apron to distract the ref spot 8 times in a 10-minute match.
That sounds right, yeah.
It got to the point where I'm sitting there on commentary and I just started quoting Mallrats. And I was like, that kid is back on the escalator again. That was number 1.
Oh, God.
That was number 1 of how fucked up that. Number 2. That was the night where I began my hatred of Beyond Wrestling. And I'll tell you why.
Please tell this story.
Because, like I said, I was doing commentary with Lurch for that show.
Right.
So, mind you, on that show was JT Dunn versus Green Ant, which was Hot Sauce Tracy Williams.
Right.
For the NEFW US title. Me and Lurch called that match. 2 weeks later, I see Beyond Wrestling advertising JT Dunn versus Green Ant on their channel. I click on it. It's that match. And Drew Cordero recorded over my commentary and claimed it was a Beyond Wrestling match. Fuck that shit.
Was that the same promotion that had this dude? Was there some dude like Denver, Colorado, or some shit?
That's Drew Cordero, DC.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Really?
Drew Cordero is Denver, Colorado.
Oh, damn. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, that was him. Recorded in post over my commentary.
Wow.
Not to mention the first time I actually met him at ISW, he wouldn't shake my hand and gave me the fucking look of death.
Did you know each other beforehand?
No, but you know, you shake everyone's hand in the fucking locker room.
Oh yeah, I know that. Well, no shit. Yeah, no. Duh. That's
cold
like
shoulder, look at death. Fuck you.
That's like rule number 1 in.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. So yeah, that was that show.
That's nice.
That was that show.
Sorry to bring that up.
That's okay. Memories, baby.
Yeah, memories, yay! Yeah, the only show I ever got brought in for that was branded RPW. Once they rebranded RPW, God, I don't even remember where. Like, I kind of remember where it was at a random. It was in the gym that was attached to a random church in Massachusetts.
Oh, yeah, that one. Yep, that was the one. Where, yeah, that was So that was actually So that was technically Revival because that was technically the last NAFW show. So that was a month after that one.
So this was, first of all, had a shit draw.
It drew okay.
Not the show I was at.
But it was the one where it was the one where they did fucking, what do you call it? I don't even think we had a name. Oh, it was Icarus was on the show.
I want to say, I don't know if this is the same show because I don't remember you being there.
I was there. I didn't work a match. I did the spot where I was like, I came in through the crowd and pulled fucking Tyrek out to fucking. I don't even remember. I was supposed to start building a new stable.
I don't even remember seeing you at this show. Because I'll name off 2 things.
Mm-hmm.
One, there was some kind of ladder match. I want to say it was even
ladder match.
I want to say Len was even no, Len was not in it. There was a ladder match for whatever title Mike Grossa had at the time. And then another match was a tornado tag.
I don't remember Grossa
that involved. There was a tornado tag. This was when Mike was doing the I think he was in like the straight jacket gimmick or something like that. I don't remember.
Well, he's been doing that for a long ass time.
But the second thing was there was a tornado tag where I want to say it was it was billed as the last time Mooch and Andy were tagging.
Oh, so that was RPW after Eric died.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't there. No, because that was after Beth told me to fuck off.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, so that was in fucking Palmer, Mass.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that sounds right.
That was in Palmer.
That was
after Dissension had already started.
Yeah, because if I remember,
that was when Jose Perez was booking.
If I remember correctly, yes, that's right. That's fucking right. I forgot about that.
Yep.
If I remember correctly, I want to say I could be wrong, but I want to say the route that I was driving was the exact same one I would take to go to Torrington.
Yeah.
And I want to say I was on 8A or something like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck, why does this route look so familiar? And then when
I had to go all the way up and then over. Yep.
Yeah. And when
the end of Route 8.
I pulled up to the church, I'm like, motherfucker, I know exactly where I am. Yeah. I'm like 10 minutes away from getting into Connecticut. What the fuck?
Yeah.
I was. Yeah, because I remember.
That was the ladder match between Anderson and Shady.
Yes. Oh, God, that's right. But I think
that was Len versus AJ Cruz in a 4 corners match for the title. I wasn't even on the show, and I remember what the card was.
Yeah. But Grassa, I feel like Grassa did something with a ladder during that show, and I can't remember.
I don't know.
I don't fucking remember. I know Grassa, he was in a multi-way match. I know that. It was a 3-way or a 4-way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I totally forgot Jose was booking that. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Yeah, because I remember I can't remember if I followed Len there or if we just happened to show up at the same time. It was one or the other. It was really weird. Because we weren't riding together. I remember specifically driving myself.
Yeah.
And I don't know, for whatever reason, we happened to show up like the same fucking time. It was really weird.
Yeah.
I want to say Bobby worked that show too.
Yeah, he worked Tommaso Ciampa.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yep.
Wow. That match went off in front of like 50 people and 30 of them were probably comped. Jesus Christ.
Yep.
Yeah. Because I vividly remember that being like a not very good crowd at all.
Yeah, none of the crowds they had there were big because they fucking, as it was, after Eric passed and Beth decided she still wanted to run, she did one more show in Chicopee, did no advertising for it, wondered why she only drew 35 people. She's like, where the hell is everyone? And I'm like, dude, you didn't do any advertising. Plus you had your fucking new booker come out and say, fuck your entire fucking roster publicly all over social media and like motherfucked all the champions and fucking stripped the belts. Like pulled a fucking Vince Russo.
Oh, that's right. I forgot they did that. Yeah.
And then decided I'm going to move 45 miles away in the other direction. And wonder why you didn't draw. And they drew subsequently less and less. And the final show they had there drew fucking 8 paid.
Yeah, that's a problem. Wow. I don't know how the fuck we got down this route, but okay.
But it's just people who watch learn from the past. There was something I wanted to, I should have written it down because I wanted to be like, here's some advice, and it's just from past experience, but I don't remember what I was going to say.
Always shake hands as well.
In
the case of COVID, probably fist bump, but you get the point.
Yeah. But still, like,
greet everyone that's in your locker room.
Exactly, like basic locker room etiquette. Like it's unbelievable that like
unless you have a predetermined with somebody, then okay, I could kind of understand. But other than that, don't be a dick.
Yeah,
it's a pretty simple rule. Don't be a dick. That's all it is to it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh. I think this is cardinal rule. I think there's a 1A and a 1B. 1A, don't be a dick. 1B, know your pricing, know your worth. I'd say that's 1A and 1B, honestly. Don't go too low so you're getting undercut, but also don't be a jerk off and when you're worth 100, go to 5. Like, no, fuck off.
Right.
You know, all those people who worked AEW, Dark, and Elevation. Anyways,
oh my God. Seriously, I can't. I just fucking can't.
By the way, did you see who was just on that last week?
Gargano.
And?
Verna.
And?
Prince Nana.
And?
Who else?
The
Was the Sparkler on there again?
Title?
What? Oh, yeah, Jake. Yeah, I saw it. Yeah. Yeah.
Wasn't he on Verna's team?
Maybe. I don't know.
I think Verna and Dunn were teamed together. Actually.
Oh, because on tonight's episode, it shows Verna and Gargano with Nana as the embassy. I'm like, when the fuck did this happen?
Yeah, that was
facing Nana, fucking Ortiz and Santana.
Yeah, Nana posted some picture of him backstage at last week's AEW show.
Yeah, this I remember now. I remember. Thank you for bringing that up because somebody posted something that I thought that I got a major kick out of, and then someone else decided to ride his coattails and it backfired. So, Kevin Matthews, KM.
Yeah.
He made a post saying, I think I'm the only talent that's appeared on AEW Dark who hasn't plastered my social media with me posed in front of the logo.
That's funny.
And he just said that because, and it's true. And so, and
just to be a smart ass.
Well, I mean, but it's true. Like, because like, as it was like someone went to his Wikipedia afterwards and wrote that he was signed with AEW. And he was like, no, I'm not. Like, so like the whole thing is like, you know something, the guys that get that picture done, thanks as a promoter who needs professionally done pictures of you for graphics. That's great. Thanks for posing for that pic because you don't have any professional ones done before that.
But
so that's a good thing. However, don't put it out there like you got signed because you didn't get fucking signed. So the thing is, another piece of shit who everyone already knows is a piece of shit, TJ Marconi, decided to ride on the fucking coattails of that.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Be like, all these motherfuckers who think they're hot shit, who fucking can't draw, and they post these pictures like they're like they're superstars now or some shit, blah blah blah. Like TJ Marconi being TJ Marconi and being a piece of shit.
Yeah.
But he was basically just building off what KM said. And it backfired completely because people were like, dude, shut the fuck up. And I find it to be true with KM because I've seen a lot of people, a lot of workers who have posted these pictures and being like, and then they try to fucking book themselves as AEW talent to fucking promoters. And no, you're not. You worked an enhancement talent match. That's all you did. That doesn't mean that you can put AEW on your resume because you are no better than, and I will tell you who, there is this fuck around here. He lives in Connecticut or possibly Rhode Island at this point, somewhere around there. There is this fuck. His name is Richie Rich. I'm not lying. His name is Richie Rich. He appeared from all of my research, and JJPD does a lot of research. He appeared a maximum of 2 times as an enhancement talent on a house show. Not Superstar. Yes, go ahead.
I think he was on that same RPW show I was just talking about.
Oh, God. He's an old, bald guy. Old, bald. And the thing is, he looks.
Does he wear a robe to the ring?
No, he would. But so this guy, his, what do you call it? He looks like, so back in the day, on Superstars and Challenge around like 92, 93, there was a guy that would go by the name Vito Cruz or Von Cruz. This guy now looks like Von Cruz did then, but that's not the same guy. This guy He fucking used to have blonde hair and shit, but this guy, he's like 60 something now, but he still goes by the name Richie Rich, and everywhere he advertises himself as former WWE superstar. He was never even on TV, but he advertises himself as former WWE superstar Richie Rich and tries to bilk promoters out of that.
Is he on Facebook or Twitter?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I see him advertise once in a while for like Showcase Pro. That's about it. But the dude is just trying to bilk something that never happened for all it's worth. Like there's certain guys like Barry Horowitz who can say former WWE guy because they got TV time. And was there a lot, and was actually a big guy in the territories, but you know, had a little bit of TV time, and that's fine. But if you are going to say you are former, like you are, and I tried to point this out one day, and I like a couple of wrestlers wanted to bite my head off about it because they were mad that I was right. By going and saying you're a former AEW superstar, no, you're not. You are the same thing that in our day, a lot of us were trained by guys who did the same thing. Johnny Rods, Bert Centeno, Fred Yale, the Duke of Dorchester. Who else? Iron Mike Sharp, Larry Sharp. Like, granted, Larry is an amazing trainer, though. But these are guys who were enhancement talent, but they were there for a specific reason. They did their job, and they were good at that. But they didn't go around advertising themselves as WWE superstars.
Okay.
By you working Elevation or Dark and being on YouTube, you saying you're an AEW star puts you in the same mindset of a promoter with any brains as fucking Richie Rich. Or Nature Boy Paul Lee. There's another one.
So the reason I asked about Facebook and Twitter is because so let me explain the guy I'm thinking of.
Okay.
There was a guy booked on that RPW show that I told you about that I was at.
Yeah.
He came out, and it was an older guy. I still remember it was an older guy.
Yeah.
But I don't think he was wrestling, now that I think about it. No, that's right. He wasn't wrestling. Okay. He was managing, but it was this short dude, no built-in whatsoever, skinny as hell, and came out with a robe and...
You're thinking of Two Buff and Buff Dad.
Yes.
They still work.
Yes. That's exactly what I'm thinking of. Thank you.
Yeah.
Why did I confuse
that's the whole thing is the kid is just a toothpick and he calls himself Too Buff.
Yes. I apologize for crossing up my references there. My apologies. I don't know why, but I could only think of the old dude for a second, and then I finally remembered the younger kid was the one working. Okay, that's right.
Yeah.
That's who Len had the match against. That's who Len faced that night.
Yeah.
Jesus. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now it's all coming back to me now. And no, do not start singing that song.
Because they were XWA trainees. That's why. And because Jose was booking XWA people.
That's right. Okay. All right. My memory is working again. Yay. All right. Do we have anything else to talk about?
No, I mean, we kind of just riffed for the last like 20 minutes.
Yeah, we went down memory lane for like the last 20 to 30 minutes. I don't know. That was random, but cool with it.
It's fun to do.
Man.
Old war stories.
Yeah. War. Oh, God. I don't even want to go down that road. Any Hooser. Yeah, that wraps it up. Episode 29 in the books. Next week, episode 30. We might try to think of something Christmas themed. I'm not sure. I'm gonna lean towards a hot no on that one. I don't know. We'll think maybe. I don't know.
I'll dress like the Krampus.
Oh. Don't make me break out my Festivus pole. Anyways, so yeah, that does it. White Heat presented by Godzilla Media, sponsored by our good friends at Mohawk Honda and Johnstone Supply in Troy. For JJ Alexander, I'm Brian Cady. Enjoy your week in wrestling. Oh, by the way, one last thing. Ian Riccaboni apparently is going to audition for New Japan Pro Wrestling. For
Good.
what? Not a fucking clue. I mean, one would assume, but...
To do commentary. Hell yeah.
Is Kevin Kelly leaving? Who knows? I don't know.
Maybe he'll just do it for Strong. True.
Maybe. Anyways, that's JJ. I'm Brian. Any complaints, go to @JJ_Alexander. No, I'm kidding. You can send them to brian.k@GodzillaMedia.com. Go ahead. I'll have the more even-keeled, relaxed answer. I'm not so sure. Anyways, enjoy your week, and we'll catch you next week. See you, folks.
Later.